because I'm worth it.
Yeah.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Excuse me, we're not late in gates. 7:02. We're on
Just
time.
a little late.
We're like 30 seconds late. It's okay. What's up? How's everyone doing? How was Stellar Blade? Xray, did you have fun?
Good.
You're
I'm
playing on
almost
hard
finished.
now, right?
Yeah, hard mode, New Game Plus. Got my outfit from collecting all the cans. That took a long time, and yeah, I got 2 more bosses left, I think.
Wow. And here I haven't even finished my first playthrough yet. I was gone though, so.
But you're doing really well, so I hear.
Yeah, if you guys remember in the chat that watched me play, I already forgot the name of the monster I was fighting, but they said a couple of people rage quit and didn't pick the game back up after not being able to beat it. And I asked, I was like, well, Xray beat it because she's like, 50 billion hours into the game. They're like, yeah, it only took her a couple of times. And then, yeah, so clearly we're like just real good at the game.
It got me when Mark said
We're
that this is the first time Xray Girls ever beat him through like a Souls-like game kind of thing.
Well,
She's
let's
already
just
on her
say
second. And
the
he didn't
outfits.
finish.
It's like
That's all it needs is
with
the
my
extra drive.
boyfriend or my husband, and basically I'm like, I want to collect all the outfits.
There you go, game developers. You want girls to play your game? Give us
Have
the
cute outfits.
Have cute outfits and make many of them, and we will play.
And
This is the whole point, though. If you actually make women hot in games, it appeals to everybody. If you make them ugly, it appeals to nobody except people who want to go into the woods with bears. That's a small audience.
Oh, this Bruce T's done.
Yep.
I heard it that
Beam me up,
time.
Scotty.
Usually I don't.
I always hear it.
Wicked always hears it, yeah.
I always hear it. I'm like, beep.
That time I didn't even react, and it was like, no.
He's like, I'm done.
The bat ears.
Typical.
Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. So what has Mark beat it yet at all? Or no, you're on your second.
No. He has.
playthrough?
He finished a couple of days ago. And he's on his second playthrough, but I don't know if he's gonna actually finish it. The second playthrough, because he's playing Hades right now.
Oh, okay.
But that game is, I don't know. Never played it. Maybe
never
I
even
will.
heard of it. I don't know what it is.
There's so many games to play.
Hades
not enough
is like
time.
an isometric action fighting game kind of thing.
Are there hot girls in it?
No.
Dang it. Well,
There's lots of very strange looking girls that look like they'd fit into a Doctor Who episode.
Yeah,
Or Velma.
Before this stream, Disparu was watching a lot of Doctor Who, so he's gonna get a little spicy, a little sassy, a little upset, and that's what
I
you
think
guys
he's
want.
just waiting to
I'm just saying.
explode.
He's waiting to.
There's a lot
unleash.
of similarities between the second episode of Doctor Who and Hades 2. I don't think that's a coincidence.
No,
I tell
Does
you,
it tell?
some of them would have a chin that like Mike Tyson would die for.
Wow.
Tyson would die for. Damn. So strong chin, yeah. Well, it's because they're I know a few people have tweeted this, but somebody recently tweeted this. I think it was Nina. I think Nina tweeted this about them trying to make men more feminine and women more masculine, which I 100% agree with that. We're seeing that in everything, even video games. It's really freaking annoying. Like, I don't
Because
understand
strong is being masculine.
That's true. I mean, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's weird because they treat men like broken women, and
Yeah.
I don't actually think it's the same for both things. You'd find with things just because two things are happening the same way on different sides, don't mean that they've got the same impetus. And I think that making women ugly is less about trying to masculinize them, and just that's how you make women ugly. I actually think it's women moving into the gaming industry who are incredibly insecure, never really been complimented their entire lives, and they don't like being around other people that are more attractive than them because it makes them feel bad about themselves.
So
And
yeah,
so
oh, yeah.
they drag
Self-insert.
everyone down to make themselves feel better. Where that's why the men never get changed. They're still hunks because the game devs like those, but because the other ones make them feel bad, they lower their beauty because they probably assume that everyone else feels the same way as them, and then find out actually no, it's just
Because
you
you're
love.
self-centered to even think that way, and you can't empathize with other people on how they perceive things because you're so selfish.
Exactly. And I've never heard Disparu say hunk before. He's like, they're hunks. I've never heard him say
Ooh.
that before.
Did I say hunk? That's
You
not-
did.
I'm
You
surprised I
did.
used that word.
Who is your number one hunk in any video game that you would love to be?
Uh,
'Cause I could say I would love
well,
to
no,
have
it depends
Eve's
what you
body.
mean, like physique-wise
Oh, yeah,
or like
same.
personality-wise. Because
Oh,
personality-wise, it wouldn't even be from a game. No, I think if you're gonna go for a physique, it'd be Henry Cavill, just because everyone drools over
Ooh,
Henry Cavill.
okay. Even guys.
He's like, I want to be drooled over. So
Well, no, isn't that what essentially to say? Like, the high quality guys are someone guys want to be and girls want to be with. So you'd always have that kind of mutual thing.
now
Yeah.
this
This is why all the idea, it's in the eye of the beholder. No, it isn't. Because if it was, we wouldn't have people that just go Henry Cavill and everyone goes, yes. It's not in the eye of the beholder. We're just negotiating on standards past a
it's
certain
in the eye
point.
of the abs.
No.
That was just the
I think
first
guys
thing I
focus
came
more on arms than abs when they're thinking about that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Well,
guys.
guys, yeah,
Those
well, you said Henry, so
Wolverine
I'm like,
arms.
Well, we
Oh,
know
well,
who
hey,
Xray likes.
There's something that, like, if
Yeah,
I can
that
see
came
your
out of left
veins.
field, did it? No one even mentioned Wolverine.
Well,
We were
you
talking
said
about Henry
arms.
Cavill.
You said arms, and I
Yeah, but
was drooling over his arms.
Every man in the world has arms. You narrowed it down
I'm
very
talking about, like,
specifically.
muscular,
Like,
and you get
Disparu.
the veins. You see the vein down the arm, and then I love.
Oh, do you like
veins.
the veins? I
No, well,
always
so
think the
that means
veins
you
are
have less fat.
off-putting. Well, no, I think the veins come from fake use that boost the muscles. I think it's a
Steroids?
side effect.
well,
Yeah, I wasn't sure exactly what you could say
Fake
on
use.
here.
Can you say
Uh,
that?
I mean,
Well, I imagine
can,
so. It could be
I
early.
can easily put IV in those veins, and I don't know, that is like a
It's a medical
that's
thing for
the-
her.
the medical side of me is
That's
just going,
weird.
"Ooh."
I like to see his veins so I could put an
Show me
IV
them
in
veins,
them.
baby.
Yeah,
That's-
honestly, there's something
That's
like
creepy.
like when you can easily put an IV in. There are a lot of patients that is difficult. Okay.
Yep, been there. At one point, I was in a hospital and I had a nurse on each arm trying to find a vein. I was
Oh,
in
yeah.
agony. They were doing it for
Oh,
ages.
Oh, I'm so
just-
sorry.
Ouch.
Yeah,
I
it was
usually-
repeated in both arms from two different people. Oh, it was awful.
Did you do like here, here, and here?
No, they never tried wrist or anything. It was always
Up
there.
here. Oh, okay.
But it was on. They like one was trying, and the other person probably thought they don't know what they're doing, so they just started on the other arm, and now I'm getting jabbed in both arms. I'm like, what on earth is happening to me?
Oh,
no.
sorry. I had to talk about veins.
Steven De Leon, thank you for all the love today. He's got a few messages from him right now. My 3 favorite lesbos, let's freaking go. So now we're just all there. You know, there you go. Disparu, you gotta do it too.
What that? I'm not even Asian.
I'm
doesn't
so
work.
happy you did that.
I didn't think he was gonna get what?
Disparu.
You gotta get him to do the
That was so kawaii.
It's gonna be the last opportunity once I go on this holiday with a bear. That's all we're gonna have left.
wow. 5 memberships. Thank you, Steven.
Saucy.
He's like, I don't even care anymore. Okay, I'm used to it. Thank you. And Hoki's 11-month member message. Almost a year. Wow. Hell, look at an Xray girl. Let's get Saucy. Who doesn't want to go hang out with the Canadian bear in the woods?
Wow. Maybe they misunderstood the question.
Hey, if it's Jay, I'd choose Jay over a man. But because
Wait,
he's
what?
nice. What? Just
That
it could be
came
any
out
random
wrong.
man.
No, you
don't
implied
know who
that
it'll
Jay isn't
be.
a man. That's what you did there. I choose
not
Jay
what
over
I
a man any
said.
day. You know, he's safe.
Oh
He's not a
my
man.
god! I meant like it's a guaranteed nice dude to hang out with and make sure I don't die.
He said
Oh,
over a
no.
man, so he couldn't be a man.
No, this is gonna stick. This is gonna
sorry, Jay.
I'm
so sorry. He's a Canadian bear. That's why.
Yes, queen.
Yeah.
There we
Mr.
go.
J.
Cleanser
Sorry,
there.
Jay.
Thank you, Psychotic Mongoose, for gifting a membership. And also, yes, there's a hat that I think a lot of men would wear. Make women smoking hot again.
You'd need a big forehead.
You need, yes, you would. Thank you, Steven. And also, Xray loves veins confirmed. Oh,
Yeah,
gotta be
it
careful
was-
with what you say. She did
See,
say
I always
that.
thought they were off-putting. They always look awful to
I don't
me.
like the bulging. No,
Because isn't that one of? Is it Schwarzenegger? Isn't he one like you've got really big veins all down his arms and stuff? I always think it looks awful.
Speaking of Schwarzenegger,
Well,
you guys want to see something
so
funny? Hold on.
veins, they're very near the surface. So when you have very low fat and a lot of muscle, it does due to
Okay,
steroids.
never mind.
So but
Well,
yes.
I mean, it kind of makes sense that you'd have bigger veins because you need more blood to get to the
Mhm.
muscles. But
This
I-
one's
I-
for you, Xray.
considering the other side effects of that kind of stuff,
It's
Do you
a
want me to
really
read
cute
it?
color. Let's Disparu. Can you read this one?
Oh
The
my
sound
God.
fancier.
MTB Steve for $5. No words, just X-ray and a tank top. Thanks for the tanks.
That's cute. I like that last little line.
Thank
Um,
you.
I bought some new clothes because I'm smaller now.
Yay!
Yay.
Yeah, that's always a nice shopping trip when you need smaller stuff. Wicked Steel's been around for 11 months. Hail to all the Saucy Squad, almost a year. Let's go! Thank you, Wicked Steel. Yes, so like Doctor Who's new gadget. Oh, I don't know. I just Rue must know though, because I don't watch Doctor Who, but
Doctor Who's new gadget is very in tune with the
Was it a dildo?
the preferences, kind of the preferences of the new Doctor. I mean, that wouldn't be much use to him, but there is other stuff that would be in that vein, so to speak.
Vein.
do you have the?
But
Do
it
you have
ends
a
in
picture
plug,
of
if
it?
anyone's wondering.
Do you have a picture of it?
I could
Yeah, we'll
probably
pop it up.
get
Well, we'll
one.
start off with some Doctor Who talk. Why not? Even though that's not my best topic, but
Oh my God. So I just am about to start the season where Donna comes in as the companion. So I'm in like peak Doctor Who right now, and we're about to like I think this season and then into Matt Smith. And it just pains me to see these clips of Shooty and how they're treating the fans.
Oh, is that his name?
Oh yeah, Shooty Gatwa.
I've always called him Cutie Gatwa.
Oh.
I just dropped the N.
Yeah. It's
what is that?
It's prime for insertion.
oh my God, see it does look like a dildo. Oh no.
Well, no, it's more of a plug, really.
The plug into the butthole.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he looks
Like
like he's very
sprayed.
interested
Like,
to use it.
none of this is accidental. It wasn't with the last one, and it's not with this one. Like, there was a spaceship in the first one where it's a space station, and he gets it to propel itself across the universe by releasing all of the methane that the babies have been producing, and it literally farts out of two ass cheeks on the space station.
See, how
I'm not
do
even
you
making
use
this up.
this, like stealthily, and it would just always be bulging out of your pocket.
Well, he doesn't like to brag.
Oh no, he doesn't like to brag.
I think that was one of my things. It was like between I can't even remember what my own joke was. It was like this is the one where we find out what the BBC really stands for.
Oh dang!
It's not the British Broadcasting Corporation.
I have a question. So, I've only seen two doctors, but both of them have their happy-go-lucky persona, but then they have that dark side to it. And I know you have only
Oh
been
no, he
through...
doesn't.
Okay.
He is not. He doesn't come across as Doctor Who at all. He comes across as Cutie Gatwa. I get the feeling this is just how he is. It's just very kind of excitable, very camp, minces around all over the place, and that's about it. Very energetic, but there's nothing about him that kind of hints at intelligence or any kind of dark side or even any capability of it. Whereas, like you say, the earlier ones, they had like, I'll give you one chance. So I will give you one chance at the carrot, and then you get the stick.
Yeah.
With this, it's none of this. It's just messaging after messaging after messaging all the time, and it's very childish. Like the entire show from
That
start to finish.
is disappointing because I know Neil Patrick Harris was in the special episodes or whatever you want to call it, the 4 special episodes with Tennant as the toy maker, I think, or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I think if you were to go with a gay doctor. You could have had someone like Neil Patrick Harris do both the happy-go-lucky, but also the dark side of the Doctor, because he's been through a lot in his 900 plus years of life.
In this, the villain from the second one, who's the sort of the drag race one, that's the child of that dude in the story, so they're like related. So yeah, he's kind of fighting gods, but again, you can't take them seriously. I can't. It's impossible with the way that this person is presented to actually fear them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And you kind of have
it's like you're weird, but you're not scary.
Like every villain that has happened, I mean, the last one I met was the Master, and oh my god, that was like a scary moment. I didn't think that they were going to get out of it.
They've got to play it seriously, and you can't be serious when you're wearing a big orange wig and tons of makeup on, and you're a bloke.
Oh, like
you
a
can't be
drag
serious in that.
queen.
Yeah, well, that is supposed to be like a comedy performance on a stage. It doesn't work if you're trying to make people afraid of you. You
got to go like the Joker almost. Twisted and weird, and
that was the thing. They just aimed for weird. It was kind of just aren't I unusual, and it's like, I mean, not particularly. You're shoved everywhere now. We've seen this. You know,
that sucks. I hate where this is going because it's so freaking good. Like the writing is where it starts, obviously, for the episodes, and then the execution.
Is awful. The acting is awful. The first episode has a load of babies in it. Now, admittedly, they're babies. It's not their fault they can't act. But on the other hand, babies can't act. I don't know if this is news to anybody, but why are we making a show about babies? Because they can't act. Like, this is your first episode. It was written by Davis, and it comes across as if it was written by one of the babies. It's awful. Because they're trying to do a reboot, they like cram loads of pointless Doctor backstory, like I've got two hearts, and just like dump it at the start of the episode randomly for no reason whatsoever, rather than leading into it. There's a bit where he just states his personality.
I think the reason for the babies who can't act is to show as if Ncuti Gatwa could act as a comparison.
I mean, this is the thing. He is very energetic all the time. If you really like the sort of campy, high energetic stuff, sort of the Pineapple Dance Studios guy that used to be on all the time, I could see why he could be entertaining doing something else. You know, if he was like presenting a dance show or something, he'd probably actually be very good at it. But it's not the Doctor. At no point did I feel there was anything. You know, he doesn't come across as 900 years old. He comes across as just a camp Englishman.
Baby. Like, fresh into the world. I feel like Doctor Who is now an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race.
That's literally what the second one was. No, it's literally what the second one was. It even ends with, like, a 3-minute dance scene.
3 minutes? That's way too long!
Well, it's something like that. So I didn't time it, but it's something like that. It's an entire dance scene across multiple different things. It would have just fit into Grease or something. They were all doing the twist. And it's just like every episode of Doctor Who, every episode ends with a twist. And here it is. And it's literally just them doing the twist.
But the twist should be him solving a mystery.
Oh, no, this means the dance, which is an American dance, by the way. It's not English.
I'm just
they really
staring
got
at
the
that,
Disney treatment.
The Metro article you sent, and he's just like, it looks okay.
Oh, yeah. How are you supposed to take that seriously?
We gotta, I know, I'm just looking, that's all I can see. You guys are talking about this guy. I don't know anything about Doctor Who besides like what you guys talk about. So I'm like,
there's a lot of it which, it's not British anymore.
God, that like low cut V-neck. Ugh.
Oh, yeah, he minces around in that quite a bit.
It's very like 70s. You know, it gives off like a 70s gay man vibe, right? That's just me, maybe.
I will say the only thing I like about this photo is from the back part, I like the background with the TARDIS colors. That's pretty much it.
The TARDIS itself is a stupid design.
Like, the background's great, but the actual focus is not.
Basically wheelchair accessible. That's literally why
it's wheelchair accessible now.
Yeah,
I just
ramps.
like the blue.
It's all ramps and they go all around the place so they don't slope too high. It's
Because
definitely done for
wheelchairs are
Yes.
they have to worry about a companion that is in a wheelchair.
Well, I think they're going to add one at some point, just for that.
Oh my god, it's gonna be Echo with her one leg.
The entire thing, the entire series now does come across as American. It's not British. Even his thing, he's like, I don't pay taxes, I don't do this, I don't have a mission, I don't have a cause, I don't have a reason for being, but I have freedom. I don't. You couldn't get a more American statement than that.
Serious?
It's like, British values have never been about freedom because freedom means that you can do anything. But British values are about doing the things that you should do. There are actually social restrictions on what you should do so that everyone acts in a civilized society together. Freedom isn't a British value, but it is an American one. And it is literally Disney coming in and going, we're going to make an American Doctor. That's how it comes across.
The Doctor should be about experiencing the world through the companion's eyes and solving stuff. I don't know.
He kind of mentions that, but they mess that up as well. They mess up that description. He says, and like sometimes, she said, well, why do you do all this? If you don't have a reason, you don't have a cause, and don't have a mission, why do you do all this? And he goes, for this. And he just points at a planet. I do it for this. And sometimes it's good to see it through yours as well. I'm like, no, you misunderstand the Doctor.
The point.
The Doctor cannot see these things anymore because he's been to the end of the universe and back. Nothing surprises him. He's seen it all. And so the companion is his first look. It's like he's traveling here for the first time again. He can only see the universe through them. She's the only reason that he saves people because it's her morality that makes him realize when he's gone too far. They don't even understand the character. And this is Davis. He used to. Doesn't anymore.
If it wasn't him, who would have been the person to guide him? Who knows?
Oh no, I think it was Davis back in the day, but I don't think Davis is Davis anymore. Now you could argue, the question is, was he always faking it, or has he genuinely changed? But as your ideology changes, you as a person,
your writing will change.
Your entire morality changes, which changes what you write and the values.
Which is really sad because it was so good. We have only a few more good seasons left. I don't like that.
And it almost makes me not want to get into it because I know it's going to get ruined. So it's like, should I even?
Yes, because it's self-contained. Each Doctor is like self-contained with his own kind of unit, and the stories are self-contained in like a series or a longer arc within the same Doctor. There's like River Song goes across 2, but that's about the only one, and both of those Doctors are worth watching anyway. So
I honestly think you should watch Eccleston season 1.
Yeah, you can literally just stop at the end of a Doctor and then just write it off. It's fine.
Okay, so it's all okay.
Once you hit Capaldi, that's the slow decline, and then Jodie is
okay.
Yeah, and like other people have said, Capaldi does like I'm leaving speech, and you can literally just like fade to black at the end of that and
that's where it ends. Okay. Well, the good stuff anyways. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it's him that makes those episodes because he's such a great actor, and he was massively into Doctor Who. So he elevates essentially poor material. The series was already going down, but he's worth watching for him, essentially.
I also think you'd really, 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 really like Captain Jack Harkness, who has his own spin-off show as well. He is I would call actually pansexual, legitimately, because he likes anything and everything that has a heartbeat.
He is literally so many species, so little time.
Yeah. And he's diverse in that sense.
Well, no, this is the thing. Everyone's like, oh, you just don't like gay in Doctor Who. And it's like, no one had a problem with Captain Jack. And this is simultaneously where you have the problem, right? Doctor Who was never made for you. And then they go on, and in this article, they actually say things like, well, it's always been like this. Don't you understand? It's always been the same message. You're moaning about it now, but it's always been like this. It's like, you can't, pick a lane. Either everyone that doesn't like the new stuff are just bigots, and they don't like it because it's changing, or it's always been like this, and then you've got to come up with a new reason because they never had a problem with the old stuff, and now they have a problem with the new stuff. They're arguing 2 points at the same time, which are contradictory, because they're not being honest. It's literally just whatever they think can say to jab you.
Yeah, and they want to make you feel bad.
Iftikhar.
They,
Okay, I'm like, you kept saying that name. I didn't even read it. I'm like, who is that?
I'm surprised you knew how to say it.
I know.
Well,
Good job.
I didn't. I just guessed at the too many constant spam.
Yeah. It's like
So
she tried to
this-
spell Asia, but added a Y. Why?
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 So
I just found it interesting that this is a British show that goes back decades. The Metro is a British publication, and yet I've got someone who wouldn't have even been around in the country when Doctor Who started telling me that Doctor Who was never made for me. It's like, how would you
Yeah,
even
it was
know?
never made for you white people who lived there since you were in the 60s. Wow.
Well, the 60s. They go back in England like literally centuries, like over 1,000 years.
There was Queen
like, no, it wasn't
Victoria
made for you.
at one point. That was what, 1600s? I don't know idea.
I don't
Shakespeare
know either.
around that
She's
time.
like going all the way back. Shakespeare was a white guy.
But
Oh, well,
I-
I think my mum can like she at one point she started charting my family tree, and that goes back to at least 1600s before she loses records.
Wow,
So-
that's amazing.
Well, we actually have those records that they exist. You can go and look them up and trace them back through the ages. Like one thing we did is have great records, and this is why it's so. It was never made for. Who was it made for then? We were the only people around when it was made in the first place.
Yeah, and so one of the companions is her name's Martha. She's a black woman who's an actual medical doctor.
Out of all the new companions, she's my second favorite one as well.
Yeah,
I think she was hard
and
done by on one series.
And one of the things that I really liked was when they traveled to the past and they would make note of her being a black woman, but not in the way that's like super negative, but like it's like, oh, okay, it's kind of weird that a black woman's running around here in this time period. How do we explain this? Blah, 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 blah. And it's fine.
In this one, they travel back to 1960s England, and it's like 2024 London.
That's not
we've dropped that
accurate.
now. We're now changing history.
God.
Yeah.
That's so sad. And I love Martha too. Like they did her dirty by only having her one season, but at the same time, I
Mhm.
get why the story happened that way. I wanted more.
Well,
Hi, Jay.
I don't know whether the story had to happen that way or whether there was some
This
problem with
brew,
the
Jay
actress,
says
so they
you're a
got rid of her.
poof.
Hey, I mean, if you're over here, you'd get done for a hate crime.
What?
He's calling you a snooky poof.
Snooky poof.
Well, he'll have to tell that to the police if he ever travels over here.
What's up, my Canadian bear?
Yeah, rip Doctor Who, Wiley says. Thank you for being a member for 9 months. I'll get into it eventually, but I'll stop, when it starts getting stupid. And Raider with 74.93. Thank you, Raider.
Saucy.
I'm
very
going to take him
saucy
off the
of you.
screen. Sorry.
Well, the best bit is
Can't look at it anymore. We're done with that.
when you hit the end of that. If you're into it, you can then go back and do the originals, which is something I haven't done yet either. Because
What, like the ones from the 60s?
the
and-
60s. Yeah.
They're supposed to be really good. The issue is when you're used to modern stuff, going back to like black and white stuff is a bit of a
I like
culture
stuff.
shock.
I love old stuff like that. So yeah. Just let me stop sharing that.
I can't wait.
Maybe I'll like it. I'll see.
Honestly, if we make because I'm slowly going through it with Zia right now. I can't wait to finish whichever part. I said I would watch one episode of Jodie. I kind of want to watch the one with Rosa Parks because I want to see the scene where she tells Rosa Parks how to do
Oh.
the thing.
Wait, So
no,
they
I
have
would
like
watch-
actual history in these, like when they travel around like historical
Yeah,
events.
yeah.
Okay, I didn't
Like
know
real
that.
events.
Well, it depends how much they want to preach to you.
Yeah.
Jodie
Like-
really wanted to preach about real life. They visit lots of historical people.
Yeah. Well, like, and the couple episodes we got to see like Shakespeare put on a play. And that was kind of cool. Or like they'd meet historical like queens and whatnot.
Kind of cool.
It
Yeah,
is
but then they started to visit social topics.
then
And
the social
that's how you end
topics.
up
Yeah.
with
yeah.
Jodie Whittaker telling Rosa Parks that she should stand up for herself,
Yeah.
which is a bit
Wow.
problematic.
So that's
I
when
think.
it starts getting.
Or
Is that the
what
spe-
was
Oh,
the
Starts
Jodie
getting
Whittaker goes full
crafty.
for it. The
well,
environment.
Okay.
I have a dream. She gave the dream to Martin Luther.
But no,
Really?
I would.
What
If
the-
you only watch one, I
Apparently.
would make it the Timeless Child one. one that
Oh,
absolutely destroys everything. If you're only going to watch one
I've heard a
episode.
lot about that. Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because that gets doubled down on this, so it is now confirmed by Davis. It's solidly built into the story. All the stuff about retconning it, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Alright.
I love how three-dimensional the Doctor is. So to see it brought down a few pegs is just sad. Like a very complicated character. And like New Who did it really good that first season. I cannot imagine this. I know chat calls it Nurse What. I don't really understand that reference.
Drew like that.
I think Mauler came up with it. Instead of Doctor Who, Nurse What?
Like a dementia patient? Is that what he's kind of?
No, Doctor, Nurse, Who, What?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it wasn't as deep as you were trying to make it.
No, like, wait a minute, I gotta dissect this.
Yeah.
Oh no,
word
now I get
association.
it. Nurse
Yeah.
What? Okay. I thought there was more to it. Whoopsies.
No. But that's probably because you haven't seen it all, so you probably think it's like referencing
It was a
different
reference,
episodes.
yeah.
You're like, yeah. Just going over my head, it's like, no, it's not. No.
I was having a special moment. Sorry.
Just having a special moment that happens here a lot. Before we move on, let me get some of these super chats. Scissors of Bacon for $2. Don't you still have all of your old clothes? Oh, that's for you,
I
Xray.
do, but I think I cycled a lot of baggy shirts, sweaters, and that sort of thing. So yeah. And this is just a workout top, and I did need new workout clothing.
Yeah, same. I need to get some new
Also,
stuff.
I mean, if you do lose weight and you have to buy new clothes, kind of getting rid of the old clothes is it's a bit more commitment.
It is because
if you keep
I'd
them, you'd be like,
rather.
well, I could always. It's kind of like you're planning to go back.
But like, and I had
Yeah.
like jeans that when I got bigger, I didn't fit, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'd even wear them if I lost the weight. So I got rid of a lot of the skinny clothes, except for the dresses. I never get rid of dresses because those
No.
are hella expensive.
Yeah. Always keep the dresses. Justin Martin's gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Justin.
Yes, queen.
He's like, I hate you guys.
Hey, that's going to be in Doctor Who, I'm sure.
You're making an impression of Shooty right now.
Well, yeah, I did comment on how ironic it was that they had Shooty Gatwa like handling babies in the first episode. They said, how come they're here? How come this is a baby farm? He says, well, you know, sometimes it happens.
Baby farm?
A planet goes sterile. I was like, yeah, well, the women get educated and go to work.
This is still Earth that he went to, right?
No.
They go to other planets.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
there is a weird story where they start calling the babies refugees. It's like, but they're not. They're above their own planet. They could just go down to their own planet. But for some reason, they decide to put in this refugee storyline where they go to a different planet illegally, just so they can go, oh, this is so horrible. Look what happens. Don't you feel sorry for little babies? I'm like, no. Go on your own pissing planet. You're right over it. You just have to go down there. It's bizarre.
Christian, thank you for the £5. I'd love to see you 3 in an RPG robbing banks. Wicked as the gangsta gun
Oh,
girl.
I read it as
Disparu
rocket-propelled grenade.
The beef.
I was like, why would we in a rocket-propelled grenade? We wouldn't
Oh
be
my
robbing banks,
God.
we'd be exploding them.
This brew he needs to go to sleep. He's been watching too much Doctor Who and
Look,
Velma, drinking
I
too
watched
much
2
whiskey.
episodes of Doctor Who, I filmed one, I edited one.
He's done.
My brain is fried.
Poor guy.
Just
having a moment.
The beefy lesbian.
I could
And
probably
Xray
tell
as
you
the
more
dodgy
about
getaway driver. We'd
I could probably tell you
crush.
more about drag queens and dancing than I ever wanted to know. The other day, I found out what a death drop was for the first time ever. And I Googled it, and it literally came up with, apparently it's like a drag dance. I'm like, what? And this
Drag
woman is
dance?
just basically falling over. And
Oh,
he just
yeah,
goes, well,
it's
when
like-
you've got the wig and the padding, it doesn't hurt. I'm like, what?
Is that
Oh,
the, like,
yeah,
where it looks
yeah,
like they
you've
break
never
their
seen
leg?
that.
They just like fall
They're
down.
like,
and
they're
break
doing,
their
I
leg
don't know
or
what
something.
literally
when
just
they're
falling
like,
on their arse,
flip,
yeah.
flip, 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 flip. And they're like, I
Flip.
forgot. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like,
I know
the
what you're
arm
talking
goes
about.
like,
So I mean, it looks like they break their leg when they fall down. Like
Oh,
I probably would. That would definitely give me a Charlie horse or something.
Yeah, I can't remember what that
Flexible.
one was called.
Yeah.
I keep thinking of shifting, but that wasn't it. That's a
This brew
different-
Jay,
That's a
sorry. I don't
different
know why
horror that I
we're
found
the
out
middle
about this
people
week as
here.
well.
It's like you guys are in an argument that you don't know you're in. He's sorry.
I didn't know it was a bad word. Yes, you did.
Yay.
In America, a poof is kind of close to
It's
what I
a
got
it's
going
a
on
hair
right now.
puff.
Hair, yeah.
Well,
It's
over
fluffy
here
hair.
it could still be a footstool.
Like
Well, I suppose it depends. I know it could be a footstool, or a hate crime, or using a hate crime as a footstool.
What?
oh, a
Now
hate
you
crime
lost
is
me.
a footstool.
Look, some people are gonna have to work it out. I can't just go around making the jokes that I want to make.
Okay.
You have to pitch things at a certain level.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I am so confused.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Josh Kelsey, thank you for the $10. Doesn't say anything. Thank you.
Typical Josh.
Typical Josh. And Dave Chandler for 5. I'm so glad I've never gotten to Doctor Who. It would be one more beloved franchise that I would have to sit back and watch the woke ruin.
Well, Gary said numerous times he thinks that Doctor Who is the most destroyed out of everything. Like, it's the worst off.
Well, think about it. It's like 60 years down the drain. I mean, I don't know when Jodie came to be the doctor, but it's sad.
It's not just that. It's the opportunities that things like time travel and regeneration brings, that the Doctor is the same person. So you're not only harming that person, but it allows you to go back. They went right back to the start of time and changed his entire storyline and every other story of Doctor Who that you've already seen. So they deliberately went back and tainted everything you've watched up until this point. So it's not like Bond, where you could just be like, well, Craig's stories, I just didn't like Craig. This is like if he went back and destroyed all of the other James Bonds as well. It's wild.
Mm-hmm. It's sad.
It is sad.
My favorite point is that in Jodie Whittaker's storyline, she destroyed like 90% of the universe, and it's just never mentioned. It just ended, and we carried on like it's fine.
Because we would rather forget it.
Well, they did. But I don't know what happened to the rest of the universe.
A lot of franchises, like, and another one, I know you love the Pirates franchise, Wicked, and
Yeah.
I loved just watching the 3 movies. It was a complete story. I love the way they wrapped it. It was a sad kind of ending for Will and Elizabeth, but they both loved each other. It was the best for the world, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to my brother, and he was like trying to explain about how he comes back, blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't want to know it. I'm happy with the way it ended.
So you stopped after 3.
Yeah, because it ended really nicely. I didn't need any more, and so it's sad when they bring back these franchises, which have, of course, a huge following, and use that following to create a movie that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
The first 3 were definitely the better. I watched all of them because, I mean, of course, I love Johnny Depp too, so I'm gonna watch all of his stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely not checking out this newest one, because we talked about this, I think, when it was announced, that even though the last few that were made weren't good, people went because Johnny Depp was there. He pulls people in to see the pirate movie. So I think this movie is just gonna fail. It's gonna be terrible. People aren't gonna go see it because he's not even a part of it. It's a female pirate movie, and it's gonna be boring.
And I heard that they really didn't do Johnny Depp's character justice in the
last
later
one
movies.
No, the last one he was in, like, to be honest, I don't remember the other characters' names, like the newer ones. They had the 2 like younger. It was kind of like generic Will and oh my god, what was her name again? Elizabeth. Oh, sorry, I'm having brain. Yeah,
romantic couple.
Yeah, it was like a younger version of them. Again, like I don't know. It wasn't interesting, and I can't really remember it. So
I mean, I'm kind of looking forward.
That tells you all you need to know. So yeah, they did not. They should have ended it way sooner. They did not do Jack Sparrow any good in that last one. No.
I'm kind of looking forward to the all-female pirates, because
I'm gonna watch
a bunch of videos.
They'll sail up to an enemy pirate ship. They'll board it. They'll get absolutely annihilated by the blokes, taken as prisoners, and sold off to somewhere else, and have their own like boat pillaged and used for another thing. It'll be a very short film. It'll probably last about 20 minutes.
I hope so, but it's probably going to be longer. It's going to be like 3 hours long, knowing them.
Well, I mean, only if it's followed their lives after they were sold into servitude.
my god. Has this wonky eyebrow for 2 pounds. Can only apologize for Jay. We taught him a bad word. Why are you guys teaching Jay bad words? Stop it.
You should know.
Jay's one of the good
He's not
ones.
prepared for that kind of savagery.
Don't do that to him.
Don't be nice to Jay.
He's a nice
They just like
Canadian
wind him
bear.
up and point him at something. Go do this.
Hi, Danky. Just
He's like, I'm sure there'll be no negative
Wait.
consequences from this.
Danky, I would love to see your rendition of Wicked Virtue. If you ever do a clip, I want to see what she looks like.
I love how he made you look. He definitely did your culture justice, we'll say.
TP hat.
Serious, yeah. Okay.
I wonder what assets you would have, like that. Maybe like the big Italian poofy hair. I don't know.
Oh no, the big Italian nose. Come on.
Nose?
You don't
Oh,
gotta be
okay.
nice. You don't gotta be nice. I know
a bowl
it's
of
big. I'm
spaghetti.
Italian. A bowl of spaghetti. I do love spaghetti.
Me too.
It's good.
Well,
This
you're
one's
Italian,
for you,
you have to.
Xray. I have to. It would be not right if I didn't. I don't know what I'm saying. Here you go. Read this one, Xray.
Andrew Matthews for 2 British pounds says, "Can we see the veiny flame thing?" I don't know what that means.
Oh, I do.
Do I want to know?
Well, you're gonna find out.
You're gonna find out. I just need. I have to go through like 50 tabs to try and find it.
Oh yeah,
That's
he's
the only
like
thing.
you know how girl brains are. That's how Disparu's computer is.
We'll find it eventually. I'm
Well,
scared.
While he's looking for that, we'll get through some more of these super chats. Cajun Corey, been a member for 11 months, almost a year. I recently opened a business selling trampolines disguised as prayer mats. Profits are through the roof. Corey, get out. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. that was a good one, Corey. I'll give you
Second
the good dad
drink.
joke. You know, usually when Disparu's drunk, he really likes those dad jokes, so he's not quite there yet. But he's also
I'm distracted
focused.
at the moment.
He's
Oh no, I've
focused.
just minimized the window and now I've lost it among other windows. Now I've got to go through windows before I can go through
Oh, no.
tabs.
Oh no, you gone down ruined it, Disparu.
You don't ruined it. What? Okay, this is for you, Xray. I can't read this. It says Xray girl in the beginning.
Okay, I'll read it. Bebop 1988 for $10 says, "Ooh, Xray girl, help me program VCR. The cack is binking."
What?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
You just
That's
like
why I
so
don't want to read
confused.
it. But
Well, your name was in it, so that's why you had to.
the cack.
Thank you for the 10, Bebop. A Bebop. Dave Chandler for 10. I love Patrick O'Brien novels. Imagine if I wrote the headline, "Sorry, diverse folks. Captain Jack Aubrey was only made for us white men. These clowns don't even realize how sick they are." Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you even...
How do you speak for someone who's not part of the writing
Yeah.
team or the director or the producers of the show previously who created the show? The show, any show, TV, or anything, it's not created for a certain audience in mind. It should be created for all people. And then maybe, sure, certain people are
no, it
going to
shouldn't.
like something more.
No, you don't make things for all people. You make things for a
No.
target audience. And then just because people, I think what people get confused is just because you don't exclude anybody from watching it doesn't mean that you're making it for them. So like action films are made for blokes. But it doesn't stop people, this doesn't stop women liking action films. Just they're not really the people who they've got in mind when they're making them in the first place. And it was the same with Doctor Who. It was made for a British audience. It wasn't made internationally. It was made for fathers, mothers, and 2.4 children. It was aimed at the family. It was a show to watch on the weekend when everyone was around the TV back in the day. It wasn't aimed at anyone else. And
Okay.
this is the whole thing. You
Let me
don't include
revise
everybody
this.
because it means that you don't have any standards. And
You're-
things are the quality level of something is based off who you exclude.
You're creating a vision of something that you hope that a lot of people will like. Okay. Yes. But the creative vision shouldn't be like, oh my God, we should only have lesbian jokes because we want to target lesbian audiences. You want to
Well,
still
it could
make
be.
it
If you're making a
Found it.
lesbian show, that would be a fair demographic to target.
but you still want to make it mainstream and not, oh
This is
God, what
the-
the heck is that?
Look, as I said in my video, look, this is, and I can zoom in, right? Just so
No.
everybody is aware.
I don't want
You
to
said
zoom
no.
in.
This is a veiny, throbbing flesh stick, is how I described it. And it can only be the two words where it starts in flesh and then it ends in light.
Is that like a gay lightsaber?
It's even got an opening at the top. There is nothing else I think this can be.
I don't know if I should be shocked or laughing.
You can do a little bit of
And
both.
he actually, there's a line in this, and he's like, I will annihilate your entire battlefield. It's like, well, I mean, if that's what you're going to annihilate it with, at
annihilate
least they'll
your
have fun
butthole?
on the way out.
And it's flaming? Just
No,
like you?
I think that's fire in the back of the wall. I think it's behind him.
It's going to make your butthole flaming. After you
Well, I suppose the
Here
other
goes
end
the
could get
stream.
shoved up
No, I'm
there.
just kidding.
No, I think it's more of an insertion than to be inserted.
Oh, God.
Because
That
there's a definite entry point.
Why would you create something like that? Oh, my God.
And no, I think we've been circumspect enough for the stream. Although I would be interested to see what the AI thinks we're talking about.
Ribbed for his lightsaber pleasure.
I mean, now,
Just
look, this can only be described as a veiny flesh stick. It's the best description I've got for it.
what?
I got the magic stick. I
Oh,
can't
And this is the entire series, right? Everything about this series has some kind of second meaning. And people, it's enough where people are going to go, oh, it's just in your head. It's like, no, it isn't. Like, everything combined.
And you guys want
you
me to
wanna try
watch this
gaslighting
show.
people, do you?
Well, okay. It was better
No,
before. There was
yeah,
no
not
flesh
this
stick.
part. I love how you should pause. I thought you froze for a second. You
No,
just did
I
the
think she
like that.
I think she just
checking
regretted
out.
being part of the world for a second.
Yeah.
It was like,
Checked out. Sorry.
that was just send the asteroid.
I need
That
to
was that kind
restart
of
my
realization.
brain.
It was the
Alright.
active brain soap of just being like cleansing everything.
Here, we'll let Disparu. You can translate Bebop this time. Thank you for the 10.
Bebop 1988 for $10. Thank you. I'll take the shrimp-fried Tamora and a thimbleful of sake to go. I'm assuming it's meant to.
To
He
go.
also
To go.
super chatted as something else to
Add to that.
I
Right,
think correct.
this one.
No.
Well, there's a couple.
For
Thank you for
$5,
five.
Western women, give me VCR instructions and bring sake. That's probably why you need the instructions about how to use a VCR.
Too much
I
sack.
mean,
Too much sake, yeah.
We're here from assuming 1988. You have spent more time with VCRs than us, I think.
Even back in the day, all parents that had VCRs basically got their 8-year-old child to sort it out for them,
That's true.
rather than learning how to do it themselves. This is how technology has always worked. It's one of the main reasons to have kids, so that they can actually
So they
sort
can
out the
teach
tech
you
for
how
you.
to use
Oh,
stuff.
Yes.
you know what? It's so true. I remember I went on a Kentucky tour at like the young age of 28 or 29. I had to
that?
have it's like it's 18 to 35-year-olds are only allowed in this, so that you kind of are a younger group when you go traveling all over the world. And we're doing like a Europe section, and I had to get the young kids to help me with the Facebook group because I didn't understand how to use it.
Youngins, I don't
Hey,
get
you,
this. Come here.
youth,
Hey, you,
sort this out
youth,
for me.
help
Yeah.
me.
At late 20s, I already felt like a boomer.
It's okay.
Ironically, if you were a boomer, you'd probably know how Facebook worked.
That's true. It's true. They're all a little aged over there. Abe's been a member for 7 months. Saucy. Thank you, Abe. Saucy. Jason Webster for the Australian 5. Thank you. Hi to the warm, congenial Xray girl. Perceptive and amiable in a cute way. Wicked virtue. Well, thanks. And take no prisoners. Disparu. Saucy
Facts.
Saturdays is
Oh.
underway.
In
Yeah.
Doctor Who, they decide to save the monster, which is trying to kill all of them. And they never give a reason why, and I'm just like, eject it out the airlock, what are you doing? And they're like, no, it's the moral thing to save it. It's like, no, it isn't. It's got to kill all of you.
Thing to save it?
Yes. They literally call it the bogeyman.
Did
It's
the show
designed
any
to scare
empathy?
them.
Like,
No.
oh.
They suddenly start going, it's one of the babies. No, it isn't. It's made of snot. It's a monster. Eject it out of an airlock. It's going to kill all of you. They never find out it's not going to kill all of them. They just... One of them says, it's a baby, and then everyone feels sorry for it.
Wait, was Jay still alive when he was saying sorry to Disparu? Thanks for
About the
rating, Jay.
poo?
They were probably in his chat at the time, telling him to come
He
over
had to come
and
say,
like talk about it.
Say with the poo.
Oh, I thought that he was done. Well, thank you for the
He's
rating.
like, yeah, they're like, go over and do a hate crime, please. He's
So-
like, okay.
What I'm hearing is the writing sucks even worse than I thought it was.
The writing is awful.
Great.
The script is awful. The dialogue is awful.
Oh.
You would never. The
Thanks,
first
Jay.
episode is written. I don't know who wrote the second one, but I think he's written most of this series, so it's probably him. It is just trash. You would never know it was made by the same guy that brought all this back. But like, if you take Eccleston's intro, where he's,
Hold on,
he's
I'm
like,
gonna share-
the
while we're
Earth
talking,
is
let me
moving
share
at
this.
7,000 million miles. It's spinning at 9 degrees at this axis, and I can feel it. I can feel everything. I can feel the moving of the Earth. And it is so cool, his intro. And then in this, it's just Cutie going, oh, I don't have any purpose in life anymore. I don't pay taxes, though. And you're like, oh, no.
But as like I remember David Tennant, so when he in the Christmas special, he's like, yeah, I'm just a stowaway on this ship. I didn't pay for a ticket, blah blah blah. It was the delivery was just so ingenious. And then to hear this, it's like, okay.
Okay.
But you're also not stationary, so why would you need to pay taxes?
Well, yeah, and ironic, it's bizarre to me that the BBC, which is funded by taxes, is having their main character go, isn't it great? I don't pay any taxes. No one thought about that bit, did they? But yeah, I would zoom in on the article. It's going to be really difficult to read once we...
That wig looks... That
Okay,
looks like one of
so-
the witches from...
I'm getting
shoot, which movie?
drag queen Cruella DeVille vibes from this right now. That's what I'm getting.
With the piano,
it's
like,
probably
collar?
pretty accurate. Everything is very over the top, dramatic.
That's what I mean, like dramatic, and probably the black and white too. I know she wears red sometimes, but you know, Cruella DeVille does have like the black and white skunk hair. That's probably where it's
oh
coming
yes,
from.
Hocus Pocus. Thank you, chat.
Oh,
It
she
was from
does look
Hocus
like that, or he, whatever, looks.
One of the witches
Bette
from
Midler.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
But, like,
it
looking
really
at it,
does.
would you be
Yeah,
like,
there you go.
that's clearly one of the most powerful beings in the entire universe?
No.
Do you look at that and think that is like the personification of fear? Because the first time the Doctor meets it, he runs away and he says, there's nothing I can do. I can't fight this. It's too powerful.
He's not gay enough. That's why.
I'm not even sure that's physically possible.
I'm kidding. Okay.
I mean, if they had a mince off, I think they'd definitely win.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely zoom in on the article because this
Can
is...
you zoom in on just the picture? I want to
Yes,
see.
I forgot my co-hosts are blind. It's okay. I'm just kidding.
Well,
They're always
well,
like,
well-
zoom in. I'm
Well,
kidding, I'm
yeah, you
kidding.
want the article to fill the thing.
Okay.
I actually think so. If they dyed the hair black, the character might actually end up looking more evil.
Or just have it played by a man or a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really concerned which, but you have to be taken seriously, and you can't have what is essentially a comedy performance taken seriously. But the entire episode, the fear is meant to be serious. It's not played off like a comedy, although there's lots of dancing and stuff. But they do try and make out that this is a serious villain that you should be frightened of.
Okay, I was just gonna say, so this is the villain. Just making sure. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on.
But-
Okay.
That doesn't strike fear in my heart. I'm sorry. The
Mhm.
piano key collar just doesn't do it for me.
Well, she essentially the god of music. So the pianos make sense within the story.
I mean, the god of music, there could be better things you could have done. What?
Well, the idea is they eat music and they stop people playing music, and without music, humans can't
So it's like
expel their emotions, which leads to war and then the apocalypse. That's the plot of the episode.
Oh God.
But yeah, the main thing about this actor was their comments about what you should do if you don't like the episode.
is it in this article?
Yeah, it'll be.
Oh,
further down.
it's RuPaul Drag Race Superstar. Okay, I don't
Mhm.
know the people. Okay, I'm not surprised, but okay, so let's go down.
I'll keep going down.
Tell me when to stop.
I'm disappointed.
Oh
looking
no,
at
that's not
this.
scary. I feel like this person has like a fainting couch, and it's gonna be very just like dramatic. I'm not scared.
I don't know. I'll try and get you a word to control F4, because I know the original quote from the tweet.
Oh, here we go. Do you have a message for those online trolls? I'm guessing this is it.
Yeah,
Okay, so
one it says bigots somewhere. Yeah,
right here,
that-
numbers are not shrinking. For every transphobic, racist, bigoted Doctor Who fan that we lose this season, there are going to be 3 to 5 new fans who are coming in for the representation. So to those fans who are not fans, I say, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Mhm.
Wow! Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Well, good luck with your show.
Well,
Yeah.
and the idea is you will lose a fan that you've had for potentially decades, going literally back to the
Half a
start of the
century.
series, and that person will just be easily replaced by 3 to 5 others. And the thing is, it's
I don't
so much
believe
more
that
difficult to
number.
get a new. Well, no, it'd be impossible. But one of the things is, my money is more valuable than your show because time is the most limited resource anyone has, and that time is literally competed by everything. Doctor Who could be replaced by golf. You're not just competing with other shows. You're competing with
By
literally
golf.
every activity on Earth. Whereas you want my money, and my money is irreplaceable. So from a value perspective alone, it is so much more difficult to get more money than it is for them to leave you as a customer.
Okay. But like, even if they delusionally think this, but based on the specials and the way the Doctor has been going with their viewership, it has
Down.
deeply declined. Where are these 3 to 5 people that you preach that you have?
Well, that's the interesting thing. She said 3 to 5 people who are here for the representation. That was the only reason, right? It wasn't the quality's improving, the stories are getting better,
It's
the
just
characters are
representation.
better, the acting's getting better because I'm in it and I'm such a great actress. No, it is literally the representation is the quality. Nothing else about the show matters. The representation is the quality of the product. The more representation you have, the better the thing. That's what they genuinely believe now, which is why everything else is tanked, because they don't think that's what makes a quality product anymore. They don't care about the writing or the script. How many tick boxes does it have?
Yeah, and I'm just looking. Say, okay, so 2005 Christmas special was 9.8 million UK viewers. The most recent in 2023 was 7.49. The population has greatly increased since then. So why isn't the number larger for that representation? Even with Tenet.
Well, that's one of the things. The people you're increasing the population with definitely aren't a fan of this.
No.
I can tell you that without even checking. They're more against it. They might actually be the people you're talking about. So that ain't gonna fly. So the thing, what they again? Oh, they're just big. No, because then, as you said, Captain Jack was all the things you've listed. No one had a problem with him at all because he didn't look like you. You might be the problem people have a problem with. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's you individually. Maybe it's you personally. Maybe it's not even you as a category. Maybe there's something about you and your ideology that repulses people.
And I wish people understood individualism, because there is such great storytelling that could be told, but they've decided that it's all about representation, and it's just a sad road for this to go down.
The issue is, take the first or the second episode, remove anything that they could possibly suggest, all of the messaging, swap that for a decent actor or actress, and they would still be awful episodes. Like, what they're talking about isn't even the it's one of the problems, but it's one of a long list of issues, and even if you fixed all of them, the core episodes were bad. The plot was bad.
The
they just weren't good
rewatchability
things.
is horrible, right? Like, a lot of these newer movies and shows, no one wants to watch them again.
Mm-hmm.
Or buy merch. Who's gonna buy a Shooty Gatwa statue?
No, a lot of this stuff is going to be, it's like a trend right now. I know I missed what you were saying, but I get just the end part. You know, all this woke stuff. It's in 10 years. I mean, hopefully it doesn't get worse, but it's a trend. It's all going to change, and people aren't going to want, like,
Russell
like
T.
you said,
Davis
shirts
wrote
that
both
say
of them.
stupid, like, you know, stay woke. Like, you think this? Ooh.
Ouch.
Like, Russell T. Davis wrote both these first 2 episodes, and they are awful. Like, just from a writing perspective.
He should retire.
And like you got to what? You've got a problem with him because I didn't before. You know, this really is a case of what has happened to you, Davis, to make you lose your ability to write this stuff.
I don't know. But the sad part is you are turning off so many people from the show, and it's going to be at least a whole season to maybe even 2 seasons to convince people to come back of a good doctor and a good companion and good writing.
I don't think it's possible.
Probably not, but it has to be at least a full season. It won't happen. Well, and Disney has its like teeth sunk in them. They got that full Disney effect happening, and they're deluded with Hollywood, thinking that this is the way to go, but it's not.
And there is, just as a final thing on this, if you can share my screen, there's going to be, I'll have to cancel it and do another one. This got 100% from 42 reviews. So this is the first 2 episodes they're reviewing. 100%, 49, and you know what Rotten Tomatoes does with the audience score. So this is about as good as it's ever going to get, right?
49 is like actually still pretty good for.
Well, it's people who think it, like gave it like a 5.1 and above kind of thing. So they're just saying it's better than mid. But yeah, that's about as high as it's going to go. But I thought I'd seen this somewhere before, and then you look at the previous one that he did for the Christmas special. If I can get that up, I've just shared it. And yeah, 100% again to 31. The critics keep doing this.
And this is why people don't trust them.
Yes.
And they go to sources like YouTubers, and they do much better than the critics. So good luck with you guys and keeping your jobs.
Because they love Gatwa. They praise him to the high heaven. It's like he's not the Doctor. They just like everything about him. Because like I said, well, like they said, it's the representation that is the quality. So to them, he's the perfect Doctor. He ticks so many boxes. That just makes him good to them.
Sad. And how can something be at 100? Like there wasn't one critic who gave it a 9 or 7.
To write a review.
They all get paid. They got to give it a right. I mean,
access. That's what it is. Currency. That's the currency for critics. It's not worth it.
Well, no. And also, if you find some of these critics actually mark things out of 4, which is a very weird number, until you realize you only have to give it 2.1 out of 4, which seems like a really low score. And it's like,
do you remember
it's fresh.
When critics, like, it actually meant something? Like, you'd get, I mean, probably, I
think they've always been ass.
Well, no, I mean, like, but you like a movie would come out and be like, Siskel and Ebert gave it 2 thumbs up, and it was always in like the trailers and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? They don't do that anymore because nobody gives a crap what the critics say anymore. But you remember that? Like, I distinctly remember that from the 90s. That was always a thing.
I never had internet till I was 18, but I used to go to the cinema with my dad a lot, and he'd get the newspaper, and you'd have critics in the newspaper reviewing the movies. And we had a thing even back then. If they hated the movie, it was probably good. If they liked it, it was going to be ass. Like, even back then, it was like their opinion was almost exactly wrong. Because they like all the arty-farty films and stuff. And then you'd have like, an action movie coming along, and they'd be like, this is awful. I don't like John Wick. They always used to do it.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I remember, I look at, Sony actually made fake reviewers for trailers in the past.
I would totally believe that.
I'm get a couple of these super chats before we fall behind again. Thank you guys so much. Bebop for $5. Is this supposed to be like British accent? Shut your face, Rondé. Is that supposed to be British?
No idea how to say that.
I imagine so. I'm not sure what the Rondé is supposed to be though.
Or like Rodney? Rodney?
It's not,
Rodney?
It wouldn't be Rodney, would it?
I was thinking Randy, like Rondé.
No idea.
It could be like shout your face, Rodney. Which I think, it rings a bell, but I can't remember. Would it be? I don't think it'd be Only Fools and Horses.
Round Eye.
Or would it? I can't remember which characters had Rodney in it. I think there was also it was the same guy from Only Fools and Horses with like this other time traveling show.
Oh, Round Eye.
Oh, I don't know about
Asian
Round
again.
Eye.
Oh, he's. Okay.
But that was in a British TV show. Shut Your Face, Rodney was like
Oh,
Someone's
he was
wife
thinking
used to have
too
a go
deep
at him.
into it, just like Xray was with the nurse. What?
Well, I mean, spell things correctly. We might actually understand what
Wait,
you're saying. I mean, otherwise, we're going to think it's a reference to something.
And Bebop gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wait, well, we'll give the. Here we go.
Damn.
Damn.
I love how that one always makes Disparu giggle too.
he's like happy that he's not being objectified for once.
He's like,
Well,
yes.
it's a very quick one as well. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
more
like
like it
30
just comes out of nowhere and then
4
ends before you
seconds.
even know it. Like, you're like jump scared by Dan.
Well, the
Him and his
toilet
man
thing,
bun.
the toilet thing from last week, that's probably gives some people nightmares. Jason Webster for another Australian 10. Thank you. If you like the early Pirates of the Caribbean films, I recommend the South Korean The Pirates 2014 and its sequels, The Pirates, The Last Royal Treasure 2022. The sequel is available on Netflix.
Cool.
Interesting. I'll have
And
to
if you
check
want
that
an
out.
all-female
Thank you.
Pirates film, it's already available on many pay-for-subscription
Pornhub?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be better than the actual movie, and we all know it. Even the dialogue will be better written, and the acting's probably better too.
Oh wait, was this the one that I was supposed to catch that you said for 20?
Oh,
Thank you, Bebop.
Oh.
yeah,
Western
shrimp
woman.
fried.
Shoot
Yeah.
my temper. Sorry.
Sorry.
3.
We're a little Canadian here. Just a
Wicked
little.
Steel. Thank you for the 5. The Axel Braun all-female Pirates movie is better than this crap fest that is coming.
Yep. Great minds think alike.
Yep.
Mad Master Porky, member for 2 months. Thank you. Not too long ago, I worked at a calendar factory. Unfortunately, I got fired for taking too many days off.
I love
good
that. Thank you for the dad
You-
joke.
You got a smile out of Disparu for that one.
I think it was more of an eye roll with a half smirk.
It was a smirk. It was something. Dave Chandler for 2. Thank you. The next Doctor Who, Islamic and trans. Well, they're not far off.
I
I
don't
mean,
think that's actually
I
possible.
think they're mutually exclusive. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be very like if they did that, you might as well douse the show in flames and burn it.
Oh, they'd get a lot.
Although it depends which is the biggest problem in the hierarchy. Would it be Gatwa or the villain of the second episode?
Here you go. This one's for you.
No
Which would
idea.
they prefer?
Disparu.
Justin Martins for $10. I don't know Disparu. He might be able to put that thing in without touching the walls, like the game Operation. Hey, well,
Thank
Oh
you for the
my
10.
god,
you
I
know what
don't
they say?
think
After a
about
while, it
that.
doesn't make any noise. It just it's like a light breeze.
Justin, ew.
Justin.
Why would you talk about
It was
his
just- Disparu,
I
like,
still don't
hallway
think
like
that's
that?
what it's used for anyway. I think it's more.
I mean,
I
they-
think it's
people
more
say
used externally.
I say the people say fleshlight. I think it's a dual tool. A dual tool.
A multi-tool.
Yeah, it's a multi-use. You
Hey,
know?
look, the Swiss have always been great with inventions.
But you could use it in the dark and then for other dirty
well,
things.
I mean, look,
like a flash.
modern armies require
I don't
modern
know
solutions.
how these things work, okay? Don't come at me, chat. I'm literally asking because I don't know. She said dual, so I'm like, what else can never mind. You know what? I don't want to talk about this.
We've all-
I
Yes,
don't
you
want to
do.
know. No, I don't.
It works both ways. Yes, Dave Chandler. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
External
Oh.
and internal. Fun for all the
Uh,
family.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. Okay, Savage Cashew. Thank you for the $10 super chat. You can make it. You can make it for a niche audience. You don't just bitch when it flops, and people outside the niche audience do not also support it, and you lose your butt at the box office.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we used to make movies for a
Yeah.
niche audience. They were called women.
Thank you.
That's what the rom-coms were for. They just had incredibly small budgets. Like, they'd make a rom-com for $3 million, it'd make some money, and then away they go.
Yeah,
There was-
I don't understand why they don't do small budget movies anymore. Or at least Hollywood. I know indie
I don't-
movies do.
Well, people keep talking, because I've not seen it, but they keep talking about Fall Guy, and I think I've now seen Heel vs. Babyface as call it a rom-com. I think
It
Gary
is.
called it a chick flick.
It is.
And it's like, why are you surprised it failed?
Like, can I?
They don't make these movies anymore. There's no reason for a guy to go and see a rom-com and a chick flick.
There
Why
was
has it got a
one
budget of
scene
that much?
where Ryan Gosling is in the car and he turns
I
on
need to go
the
see it.
radio, and there's Taylor Swift, and he's crying. Tell me
Yay.
that's not a rom
Just
com.
kidding.
Well, yeah,
It's-
but
what,
also
Fall Guys like an action rom com, right?
I
Kind of both?
watched the
Yeah.
trailer and I knew I didn't want to see that movie because the movie.
I watched
makes,
it. I knew I wanted to.
Yeah, but the trailer makes it look like
For
a chick flick.
women.
I would watch it again
So no wonder it
because
bombed
I
at the
love
box
it.
office.
We'll watch it. We'll watch it when we meet up. I'll wait and watch it with you for the first time. We could probably rent it by that point.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
probably watch
it's
it on
definitely a
streaming,
girl's
yeah.
film. I'd say, out of all the rom-coms, this is a movie that is made for like a couple, like a very hetero couple, because you get the romantic portion for the women, you get the action scenes for the men, and both are happy. But a man maybe not want to see it, prioritize it, but I think guys could still enjoy it. But yes, primarily for women.
Those kind of movies aren't. Yeah, that would be primarily for women because the one that would be primarily for the man would be more like Bond, where most of the stuff is about
the action. The romance
action.
is secondary.
And then he gets the woman at the end. But throughout that, the woman can put herself in the position of the Bond girl, so she's still along for the ride, but then only gets the ride at the end of the movie, rather than it being the main central part of the movie.
Two rides in
I was
one
like,
show.
I'm halfway here. I might as well go.
But yeah, I think Wicked will definitely love the movie. I'm on the fence if Disparu would enjoy it. I think you would find it entertaining, but not like
You find
I would
parts
want
that
to watch
he
it again.
enjoys. Yeah.
I don't like rom-coms, don't like chick flicks.
But like rom-coms, this is the first rom-com that I've seen in a long time that I like loved, because I put on the Jennifer Lawrence one and I had to turn it off within 10 minutes because I hated
Which
her character.
one? The last one that she just did, the most recent movie that she did with the young kid.
Oh yeah, the young kid. The premise in itself was gross.
It's weird.
Yeah.
There are two
It's like they're
rom-coms-
trying to redo Failure to Launch, but like they missed it. Like that, I didn't see it, but like No Hard Feelings was the name of it.
Yes, that's the one.
The trailer gave me that vibes, but like they dirtied it up a little. Failure to Launch, right? With Matthew McConaughey and was it Sarah Jessica Parker? I think.
I didn't watch it. I don't think.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Asking Xray girl if she knows a movie. I mean, come on.
Shut
How many weeks has it been? No, there are
It's
two
true.
rom-coms that
Well,
I've
it's a chick
liked.
flick.
It was or rom-com / chick flicks that I've liked. One was Sliding Doors. I think that's what it was called. Where essentially, it's like a parallel movie. I always like parallel time things. She misses a train in one, and you see her life from two perspectives, how they split off from that one moment. So in one, she finds out like a boyfriend's cheating on her, and in the other, she doesn't, and it just goes from there. And then I think in one timeline closes off, but she meets the guy in the next one and stuff. And the other one, I can't remember what it was, but it had Buffy the Vampire Slayer in it. Whatever in it.
Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Yeah, it had her in, and she could like cook food that made any man fall in
Simply
love with her.
Irresistible, right? Isn't that what it's called? Simply Irresistible. I love that movie.
probably.
She's making them cry. That's a good movie.
Yeah, those are the only two that I actually liked.
That's a good one.
I think Sliding Doors is better, but I did like that one.
I'm making sure that was the name of it. But I remember I like when she was crying. Not that she was crying, but she's crying when she's cooking the food, and everyone's just crying.
Everyone
in
gets
the
the
restaurant.
emotion of what she does, and she has no idea any of this is happening.
Yeah, Simply Irresistible from 1999 with Sean Patrick. I was trying to see I couldn't remember his name. Okay. Yeah, I love that movie. It's a good one. You should watch it. Actually, put it on your list. It's a nice little.
Ooh. I will do it maybe after I finish Apes, then Pirates. I got a lot of movies to watch.
What, the latest Apes one? Because I've heard.
No, I watched the latest Apes one, but I realized I never saw the third movie of the Caesar trilogy.
Oh, neither have I. I've not seen any of those.
I mean, I'm in the third movie now, and I had a moment where I actually cried because I love the character Caesar. And I have a feeling I'm gonna have the same feeling with Pirates, where it's like at the third, I'm good. You don't need to expand more.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, that's fair. Let me get a couple more of these super chats, then we'll move on to some Sydney Sweeney talk. I know you guys can't wait.
Boobs.
I still think this is one of the problems with TV as a whole, and that as the money went up, they started getting movie people. And as you said, by the third movie, everyone's like, "Oh, can you just stop?" because they can't keep an
Yeah.
idea going that long. So it's no wonder they can't keep on going for a TV series. They can't
Well,
even make
look
3
at-
movies.
Look at Walking Dead. I think
never got into it.
Was a graphic comic or something like that, right? Based on a graphic
Um,
Well,
comic.
yeah, but I think most people say that went downhill after the first series. I think a better example would be something like Suits, which is just been at the top of the charts.
I never
forever.
watched that
And it's like
either.
22 episode series, series after series, and it just works.
But
Like,
guess what? There were hot people, good writing, and good story.
It's amazing how that works. Yeah, and you got
Right?
things like Stargate, Star Trek. All these things went for series after series. The moment you get movie people involved, they're just not very talented. I don't know why people think movies are the superior medium. They're really not. Like, you have to keep an idea going for 90 minutes. When it goes over 90 minutes, they can't even do that. And then by the time you get to the third movie, like, please just stop. I'm begging you.
The best is when you can get a 20 episode series out and people will watch it week by week
Wait,
by
Star
week.
Trek. It requires actual talent.
Like the last show that I can remember that people were like super into that had 20 episode series was Grey's Anatomy, but I don't know about more recent series because I haven't watched it since Derek Shepherd died.
Spoilers. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone. I don't have to watch the show to know that was everywhere. Retro Nerd Boy for £5. Rosies are red. Violets are blue. Wicked looks like a gelfing. What's that? But we're all here to sim for Disparu.
Aww,
The hair.
that's so cute.
It's the hair. The haircut got
Yeah,
you.
homeless
what's a
chic.
gelfing?
A
Or go-
Gelfing was a movie character from The Dark Crystal.
So like a
Hmm.
puppet.
It's a bit
Call me a
like
puppet.
it's
Is it
definitely a
ugly?
puppet. It's a bit like
Is it
no, they're like elf kind of puppets.
Oh, I'm a short puppet. Thank you. Here, Xray, you could do this one.
Bebop 1988 for $10 says Xray Gu-san. Say RCA stands for really crappy alliance. I don't know what I
Appliance.
did that for. Appliance. Oh my god, I can't read.
The White Claw's getting there.
This like my second one. Sorry.
This is
These are the
That's a
Gelflings.
Gelfing. Oh,
That's
it's
what I look like.
adorable.
Yeah, I think
trying to
they're
make
meant to
the
be their
face.
kind of elves because with the
trying to
ears
make the
and
face
stuff.
one of them's making. So I'm an elf. Okay.
I don't know about the middle one. Looks like a
So not
elf
green?
mixed with Baby Yoda.
Well,
Yeah.
well, yeah. I just kind of searched for it, but I mean, the picture is called just Dark Crystal News, so it's probably a selection of various characters from the
Yeah.
Dark Crystal.
It's
Oh
just an
god,
extra
I'm
Gary.
getting say I'm Gary.
I see. You're getting Gary. That's a new phrase now, huh?
I'm getting
Thanks,
Gary.
Chandler. Thank you for the 2. Wicked Virtue, have you ever been on a real sailing vessel? I've been
Have
on
you?
a boat. No, I've been on boats, but like, there's an engine, not like actual sailing.
Yeah,
one with
ferries and
the-
stuff don't count.
Yeah, no, I have not, but hopefully this summer it changes. I want to look into that. I would love to.
It's
It
fun.
would have been so cool. Like we were trying to like do a thing with like the pirate podcast, and we could find like where we could actually go and like run a ship, like just for fun, handling.
You become
obviously
actual privateers.
Oh
go
my
into like
God.
Somalia
you
and
never
start
see us
taking
again.
on
We
trade
steal the
ships.
ship and we're just
Yeah.
gone.
Wicked. If we see each other in August, we should do that. If we have
What,
time
become pirates?
in
Yeah.
August.
We should become privateers
Only
and
in
sail
August.
the
But
ocean.
we'll only be pirates in August.
Yeah.
August pirates.
We're gonna
Sounds like
find
a
out you've
poem.
like shut down the Suez Canal or something in the
You
future.
take over. You see us
That's
on the
like a
news with our
stretch goal.
swords.
Was that which canal was it that ship like got stuck in?
The Suez Canal.
The Suez? Yeah, okay.
And
Millions
it's
and billions.
vitally important because if that canal closes, you have to go all the way around Africa. So
That is a long way around.
Yes, yes.
Oh
So
no,
there's
I
no
think
other routes. That's how important that canal is.
Yeah.
Blabs the Tower Tard, thank you for the 2. Hail superior Blabs and inferior Lauren Jen.
Hey, I will take that. Lauren Chen is like an icon. So
That was the funny
Just
thing on
being
FNT when people started
compared is
changing their behavior and everyone started apologizing and being nice to each other.
I was like, oh wow, I feel like chopped liver here. But they've always treated me like that. So you know what? I like being with the boys because I grew up with brothers, so I'm used to it. Maybe too much.
Yeah, I feel that. Munchlack77's been a member for 2 months. Thank you. Are we sure that Rotten Tomatoes is averaging the scores or just 100% of the reviews are certified fresh? So if some say not fresh, then the score will drop.
With averages, if one is even a 1, it will really skew the results. So they're all 100. I don't know how they do it, but
there isn't many of them. Wasn't it like 30
was like 40 or
something?
something?
Yeah, so one would bring it down to like 98. Or...
They probably like curated it and said you have to be from like a certain news source or with the tomatoes, maybe.
They are to a degree. I think you have to be allowed to sign up for it, and then they split it again further with top critics and all critics. So top critics are even more filtered.
Andrew Matthews been a member for 7 months. Thank you. Sorry for the Vinny, but I did not know what to call it. Oh, Viney? Wait.
The vein?
Vein. Oh.
The flaming vein?
Would making out of glass be better? Hi, Xray.
Are you talking about the bra again?
Oh, I don't know what's happening.
The glass bra. Okay, Andrew has to always bring it up on these streams because he knows it bothers me. Because I think glass bras are stupid.
No,
I mean, what?
They're a male fantasy, but realistically, they're stupid.
I love how Chili is. He's like, nah.
Nah,
it's not
glass
true.
bras ain't.
There's nothing stupid about them. They're the perfect bra.
No, they're not.
Yes,
you
they
know,
are.
if you get someone who's sweaty, guess what? That's disgusting looking.
Well, she should clean. Not a problem with the
You
bra.
understand? The bigger the breast, the sweatier they are. And I would know because I've touched a lot of big boobs.
I live
even
in
the
England.
hot ones.
I don't really think sweat is a problem.
Okay, well.
This is the superior place for breasts. What can I say?
Sorry, you didn't read the
Well,
last
I mean, I'm only after too many pork pies.
Pork pies.
Normally, I like to let them hang free. It's like the way I see it. When I'm 70, I can just start tucking them in my sock or something.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
Do your boobs hang low? Do they wobble to the floor? Can you tie them in a knot?
I'm already gonna have to start doing it with my balls in like 10 years or something. Otherwise, I'm gonna be playing like swing tennis on the way to the toilet in the middle of the night.
Can I tell you the really older patients that I get, because we do it as an X-ray where it's like your hips to your ankles so that you can measure the distance of your like tib fibs to your knees so that they even it out, or your hips.
What's a tib
older your tibula and fibula, or tibia and fibula, which is your lower leg. Your lower leg. So you're measuring the distance between your hip joints to your knee joints to make sure you like even it out. But anyways,
connected to the elbow.
You
bone.
do see the balls very well, and some of them hang very low.
Gravity obviously affects men too.
They're
not anti-grav. I don't know what anyone expected.
But
everyone just hopes it affects the other thing as well, so it gets closer to the ground
That's all
as well.
things.
Yeah. Look, at least if that balances out, everyone will be like, "That's fine. That's a price I'm willing to pay."
And yes, I've seen a lot of boobs, more than this chat has, I'm sure.
Probably.
Altogether.
We have access to the internet.
Okay. Well, in real life and touched.
Real life.
Well,
in touch.
No, you're just bragging.
Yes. Sorry, Wicked.
It's okay. I'm fine.
Are you apologizing because you haven't seen hers? This got really confusing all of a sudden.
It does sound that way. No,
it's like I've seen loads of boobs, but not yours, Wicked. I'm sorry, that's not an insult.
No.
Eventually,
I was apologizing for talking about said boobs, not about her boobs.
Oh, I thought you were just like, sorry, Wicked, in case you felt left out. Yes, I've already seen the rest. I've already seen the rest of the continent, just not yours. But that's not personal.
Night together.
I'll get round to them one day.
I was a very kind person. I changed in the bathroom. She changed in the bathroom. We were, we were proper.
And then you both walked out in glass bras.
Wow. Don't tell us about your fantasies.
I was going to say Disparu.
I can speak for the whole chat when I say.
I'm joking.
When we hang out, we're going to tweet about this and make chat jealous.
Just take a photograph from here up. It's like when they're on the Twitch meta, where they were like, "Oh, nobody knows what's happening underneath the line."
Well, we know what Disparu likes to watch on Twitch. Trump rallies on people's butts.
It was
That's true.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I think it was actually on her boobs. And then when they banned
Was
that, she
Fortnite on the
inverted
butt?
it. So she like wore
Oh.
clothing and then just had like the V where you could see it instead.
Did that work?
Well, she got banned. So
Oh,
I mean,
okay, no, it
it
didn't.
worked from a green screen perspective. Like technically it worked, just wasn't within the rules.
Oh, within the rules. Yeah. Okay.
Because they banned just the camera focusing on that region at all.
Yeah. Or butt. Butts
Well,
and
yeah.
boobs and butts and boobs.
I don't know why they can't just say like, "Don't be a thought."
Don't be a thought.
Yeah, it's like
We're hearing new words from
but we
Disparu
need an
today,
exact
thoughts.
line to know where we can push up to.
But
No,
then
you
I
don't.
can't write
just
people's
indoors.
names on my bodies when they donate certain amounts of money in hot tubs and
Maybe if you just get a sticky note, you can write on the sticky note and just.
The whole hot tub thing was my
Post it.
favorite. That was my favorite time of Twitch, just because I was watching how far they could push it. And at first they started with actual hot tubs, then they moved to paddling pools that they like sat in the water.
and like
Then they were like-
showers. I saw
What-
one with showers.
Yeah, because it was if you were in water, right? But they were sitting in the water, and then they were like, I can't sit here for 8 hours a day. So then they got a normal chair, put it in the paddling pool, so they weren't in the water anymore, and just sat on the chair. And then people just had a paddling pool in the room with them, that they weren't even anywhere near. It was like to see them take each step until they saw where Twitch slapped them was amazing.
I liked Amaranth when she was a horse and she humped her microphone.
Yeah. And then there was someone else
What?
that got banned for farting
Excuse
into
me,
it.
what?
Yeah, it's a video out there.
Yeah, no, literally, she
Oh,
has a
wow.
horse.
I'm
mouth.
not surprised, but I've just never thought I would hear that sentence
Yeah.
ever in my life.
Even I felt a little dirty saying that.
Imagine
I'm
the people who
surprised-
watched it.
I'm surprised Disparu
They
didn't
probably
pull up the
enjoyed it.
horse thing right now. You're talking about horses. He's got to do it when we're not expecting it. Your horse song.
I forgot about, yeah.
Horse.
I forgot I even had that. I mean, I can't. Yeah, there we go.
He's got it ready.
That's Bosch's song.
It's literally on the Roadcaster, so yeah, I can do it whenever.
Oh no.
It's a very catchy song. That's the problem, okay?
There's gonna be people in the chat that are gonna be like, "Damn you, Disparu."
No, people
It's
got
gonna be
angry
stuck.
when I was doing it more often that one week. People were angry because I got DM. I literally got DMs from people going, "I hate you. It's still stuck in my head." This was like an hour after the stream.
Yeah, it's because it's so catchy. If you guys listen to the original song, I'm sorry, it's so good. You should.
So it's a bop. Okay.
It is a bop.
Mountain Mutt. Speaking of bop, no, thank you for the $4.99. I actually swallowed Trey a
Speaking of
Scrabble.
horses.
No. He's got a car in his profile picture. Anyways, I actually
There is an
swallowed
American that
Trey-
converted his car to fit a horse in.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
like sits in the back seat.
That's interesting. I want to see that.
The show was interesting.
Oh no. Okay, never mind. If you think it's interesting, I don't want to see. I'm scared of your interesting. What you think is interesting. I actually swallowed a tray of Scrabble
There's some
tiles.
very weird legal things in certain states.
Doctor said I'm fine, but my next bowel movement could spell disaster.
Ah, thank you for the dad joke. I
Thank
love
you.
dad jokes.
They're good. They're always welcome here. Jason Webster, the Australian 5, thank you. I can still remember the original The Fall Guy series, 1981 to 1986, starring Lee Majors and Heather Thomas. Yeah, wasn't it kind of like a nod to that? Obviously, like not like a full remake, but I heard something about like they make. I never seen it, so I can't.
It's like
Could-
an ode to
That's the word I
stuntmen,
was looking. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a love letter.
This entire thing has nothing to do with that series. It's not like the same plot or anything. It doesn't continue.
no,
I
right?
would
So-
know.
Well, yeah, I'll say you never saw the show. I'm guessing. Just guessing.
It kind of makes it pointless to be based on something from that time when you're not even going to be anything to do with it. It's like just do something original.
Dave Chandler produced. Sorry, I was like reading chats and then like I zoned out for a second. Sorry.
I'm
laughing
because of a super chat, not you.
Oh, I saw Oppenheimer. It was the bomb.
I heard it wasn't though. Like, I heard they didn't even let a bomb off in it. because I am never going to watch that boring trash.
Disparu, you took it so seriously. I love it.
Because there would this. Look, if you're going to do a film about a nuclear weapon being invented, at least fire the nuclear weapon.
I gotta go see that. I gotta see Fall Guy.
This is, like I say, this is like having a film called Kill Bill and not Killing Bill in it.
Wicked, should we watch Oppenheimer together? We'll do Barbenheimer. We'll watch Barbie.
And we'll fall
watch
asleep
Barbie,
for both
watch
of
Barbie
them.
first. Watch Barbie first, because afterwards you'll want to see the world destroyed.
Oh God. I mean, the dance number, I kind of want to learn the dance. That's really it. That's my favorite part of the Barbie movie.
Yeah. We could learn it. We'll do it. I'm down. What was it?
I don't know. Yeah, do my jig.
They do
do this.
It's almost turned into like a pirate sea chanty. Ro ho ho and a bottle of rum.
Oh, don't get me started on rum. I might be on the floor.
Margaret Reality, thank you for the 5. There is more than Sydney Sweeney and Nam Vellani shitty movie, big boobs. Then there's Shin Jae-un, Korean Sydney Sweeney.
Shin Jae-un?
You're gonna look her up.
Well, this is the thing. Like, boobs aren't actually that rare. I think it was more the fact that she appeared at the right time, and at the time when everything is pushing the other way, she just hit at the right time, and it kind of took off because she wasn't ashamed of it. And actually, where everyone else is being like, "Oh no, well I know some people they're a bit disadvantaged, and I wouldn't want to discriminate against the tiny boob, the itty bitty titty community," and then she was just like, "No, if you don't like it, get stuffed." Like, I think that's what it was.
And she's Eve. Sorry.
Yeah. Like,
I just didn't know her name.
In the current day and age, you'll get more of a fan base just telling them to go shove it than you will actually going along with them.
It's true.
I think in the meantime, I'm just gonna put Shin Jae-un up, and then people can just like look at her photos while you read super chats.
Yeah, let's finish super chats.
There are definitely better photos than that, though.
Oh, trust me. We're getting there.
She's just gonna scroll. Jason Webster for Australian 5, thank you. PSA: due to the Star Trek franchise having been infected by the Kurtzman STD for health and sanity, please avoid until further notice. Have a nice day. Thank you, Jason.
You too.
You too.
I loved how they started calling it Discovery when they realized what Star Trek Discovery was shortened to.
Boobs, wine, and lesbo haircuts. Love poor choices.
Always happy to bring them.
Cheers.
Wade A. Parker for Canadian 10. Thank you. Disparu, when you were doing the Doctor Who reviews, lots of the reviews were 4.5, 5, 4, 5, or 4 out of 5. Oh, 4.5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5. So there's 100%. So 100% does mean fresh reviews.
Yes. Yeah, that's how Rotten Tomatoes works. It is counted as fresh if it's more than, I forget whether it's 50 or like 55 or 60%, but it's one of those. So it only has to be like better than average, essentially, better than the midpoint, and it gets marked as fresh. So
that freaked me out that one moved.
Counts.
Sorry. I thought that I was tripping.
So,
I thought I was tripping.
100% doesn't mean everyone's give it perfect 10 out of 10. Just means everyone marked it above average.
I'm going to say...
It's not.
So Shin Jae-un, if she's the character model for Eve, they actually made her boobs bigger in the show, the game. Mostly show.
I mean, firstly, based, but secondly, if you look at the photos of her having the actual camera work done when she's in the booth, it does look bigger. More like the game.
No, because what I was gonna say is her boobs are so big that they have like the heaviness to it. Like if you do the pen test, I call this the pen test, where you put it underneath the breast. Her character model in the game would hold the pen because they're so large. Hers are so perky, they wouldn't do that. The pen would fall.
Yeah, but that's more.
The more you know.
That's less about size and more sagginess.
Yeah, I'm just saying that her boobs are perkier than the character model. Not that that's a bad thing. Just saying. They made the boobs bigger.
No one has ever complained. They're too perky. Sorry, I don't like them. Come back in 10 years. That's never happened as a conversation.
No, I'm just saying that they're bigger in the game. I don't mind it either way. I'm happy with it.
But this is the attitude that they used to have. It used to be that Because the defense is, well, it's based on a real person. But it used to be that games were based off the perfect person. It was meant to be, this is what you want. This is the idealized figure. It's like, oh, it's unreal. Yes, that's the entire point. If I wanted realism, I'd go outside. There's a reason why I'm not. This is
Game is a fantasy,
well,
as well as movies and shows.
And so that was why I think it was Stellar Blade that at one point said, well, we wanted people to have the best model, not just any model. You know, we wanted to have the best thing for people to look at. It's what anything should be. Why would you
And I
want
mean,
an
I love
inferior
looking
product?
at her. Okay, I loved playing the game. Clearly, I haven't played a game like
Clearly.
this since Hogwarts Legacy.
I mean, let's just say for the sake of argument that all the people on the other side were absolutely right and every single woman in the entire universe hated it. It'd still be irrelevant because it's aimed at a game for blokes, which are the majority of the audience, and it's only their opinion that matters because they're the majority of the audience. And if you want to sell the most copies, you appeal to the majority. And the fringe group that may like it or not are entirely irrelevant because they don't contribute that much money to you. If they like it, great. If they don't, who cares? And
Because they're not the majority.
well, yeah, it's like you don't make a toilet seat for the 0.04% of people who have weird biology and do it out of some other region of their body, you know? It wouldn't make any sense. You'd have a terrible product.
Yeah. I mean,
Just think about weird biology now.
I've been
Think
watching
about all the
Doctor
weird
Who. A
things
lot of
now.
it centers around that region.
so Shik wants to know if we can sing Do Re Mi in key.
Altogether, it's impossible because
Yeah.
it's StreamYards. But do re mi, there.
Do Re Mi.
Do,
Disparu.
re, mi,
Well, no,
do
he
it?
said, can you? I said, no.
do.
I wouldn't
Oh,
even know
well, you
where to
could still-
begin. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing.
It's all good. Thank you, Shik.
You got, you
But
got,
like, this is
we
the, can
did
you do
but
it?
not in
No,
key.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do Re Mi. I thought we could get him.
Oh my
just do
God.
it, but
Okay.
what?
This is this legit question. As a man,
Yes,
would you
Yes.
want to have a urinal in your home?
yes. They're great.
Don't
Okay.
gotta worry about the seat or anything.
That's just the
Well,
question.
you just leave it up. I mean, if
No,
you, if,
like
if,
a
if
proper
if a woman comes
urinal.
around to your house, she should be polite and leave it up for you anyway.
Like a proper urinal. Like you have your, four, what is it? Is it 3-piece bathroom usually? Your tub, toilet, and vanity. But now it's 4 pieces. Would you want an additional urinal in your bathroom?
I mean,
I'd get
guys
rid
would
of the
just
bath.
use that.
I
They would-
prefer walk-in showers to baths anyway. But
Like,
yeah, 'cause
whatever.
you'd still need the original toilet, obviously. So
For
yeah, it would
poo-poos.
be an,
Could you
it
gotta
would be an
make
extra.
khakis?
But urinals are they're just better. They're so easy. You literally just walk up. They're amazing.
I don't know. I've never used
And
it.
They have the added
wouldn't work.
benefit that like it doesn't really matter if it comes out at a weird angle because it just catches everything.
Would you
No.
not want to clean it though? Because I feel like it smell more than a toilet. But I don't know.
Wait, do
Well,
urinal?
well, they're
I've
also
never been in
flush,
the
right?
urinal.
Well,
I mean, they flush, right? It's not just like it goes.
you
down,
can get
or
you can get flushing
know.
ones. A lot of the stores and stuff replace them with non-flushing ones to try and save water. So there's various different models. But yeah, you can get ones which like spray after every time and stuff. They'd be really easy to clean. They're already at a decent height to do it anyway.
I don't know. I've never used one.
It'd be easier than a toilet because it's just like liquid.
Hey, we
Okay.
didn't know, you guys.
We're learning. I'm
We're
trying
Yeah,
to
they
be
have
open.
like a little spray thing at the top, but only some of them because
Oh,
once
okay.
That's the
everything started
classy
going on
one.
for saving
The
water,
fancy.
they
Oh my
started
God.
putting like this dome in the bottom, which doesn't do anything really.
Okay,
It's weird.
toilets have bidets. Do urinals have like a bidet for you if you ever wanted to
I
clean?
mean, not many toilets have bidets, at least in this country. Bidets are
Oh.
really rare over here.
It's true.
Hmm.
Anyways,
And why would you need a urinal bidet? That'd like to watch that squirt
I
you in the
don't
face or
know.
something.
Like, wouldn't you
Well,
want
what was
like?
it even before?
I don't know. I don't have a pee-pee. I don't understand.
Well, what do you expect it to do? Like squirt water back up there?
Yeah, just to clean it.
You just have to. You'd have to pee it back out.
Oh, I don't know.
You're acting like you've never seen one before. No,
No, I actually haven't.
I don't mean a urinal.
Oh,
Like
Here,
you like how would you squirt water up there? Is the question.
sorry,
Like that'd have to be perfectly aimed with quite a lot of force.
Disparu has a bidet. Thank you for what I said.
Look, I think any guy knows that a sign of true love is where he tries to clean the stain by peeing on it.
What stain?
What stain?
The guys know.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know either.
No, I don't want to know. Stop.
Mark a reality that I remember for 10 months, almost a year. I agree with Xray. Love the game and love looking at Eve. Need to compare Eve and Shin Jan-un in pics for science.
Mm-hmm. It's research.
It is a fun game. It is.
I haven't seen a
For
urinal,
research.
not a pee-pee, okay, chat? Just putting it out there.
I don't know what I think the boys know, but you know what? I'm good not knowing. Highlander for 2 for Fuchs State Saucy Saturdays, whatever. Beebs. Thank you, Highlander. Beebs. Oh my goodness. All right. So speaking of Beebs, let's pull up Sydney. I almost stopped my camera. See, I can't.
I'm
focus
so
right
sorry
now.
for putting it on this conversation.
You're fine.
I'm still trying to work out what on earth you thought that the B-Day would be for.
Having home.
This is my point. Like when you suggested it, it's like
I just like having a bidet, whether I, number 1 or number 2. I thought men would want the same. I don't understand.
I don't even like. It'd have to be a 360-degree one for the bloke. Like it wouldn't just be.
Anyways, boom.
I'm not even sure how
Anyways,
it'd work, and it'd be very messy because it's firing it at him. Yeah, it'd be like, oh, got in my
Got in your
eye.
hair a little, okay?
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's like
Now
you
you
normally get a bit of warning
understand.
first.
That's what she said.
So
It's actually a Sex and the City joke. That one.
this is just an ad. It's not a Beatles pick. I'm just not letting it play. It's an ad for something. But so Sydney Sweeney is to star as legendary female boxer Christy Martin in an upcoming biopic. I don't know who that is. I'm not very, I don't know much about boxing.
I'm assuming it's a boxer. Yeah.
Well, I know that, but does anyone know about her? Is she like they said legendary, but that doesn't really mean
I guarantee
anything.
you, she didn't have the body of Sydney Sweeney.
Probably not. So we were talking a bit before this.
I think that's her, the second one.
Yeah, this
she was
is her,
in another
yeah.
picture. Yeah.
Right there. That's the boxer that she's going to be portraying. So I think that she's doing this because I remember watching some videos a while ago about how, if Sydney Sweeney, and there's nothing wrong with doing this, but she's going to get older and stuff at some point, right? Obviously, we all do. That if she keeps playing just like these really hot chick roles, that's going to be her typecast. And then, if she has good acting skills, she should try to branch out and show that she has them by playing someone not is good looking, like what Margot Robbie did with Tanya Harding. So I'm wondering if that's why they have her doing this, to kind of show what her acting chops a bit more, not just her looks. So
Let's say that was your plan. Why would you go and do a movie that is bound to fail?
You think this is gonna fail?
Who cares?
I mean,
about a
I
movie
don't
about
even
some
know
female
who
boxer?
she is.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
either, but it could be it could still be I was gonna bring that
I
up.
mean, if it was Foxy Boxy, it'd probably do really well. But this is like
Charlize
making
Theron.
a movie about women's football.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Do you think she did it because Zac Efron did that movie with the wrestling, whatever his face is? I don't remember the famous wrestler brothers that they did.
So
Maybe.
she's not legendary. Maybe, yeah.
Well, she might be legendary in women's boxing.
Yeah, maybe.
like-
I've never heard of her though. I mean, but I'm not.
Yeah, I Googled her. She competed in 1989 to 2012. She held the WBC female super welterweight title in 2009. So she is
So she is-
successful
yeah.
as a
okay.
boxer, but I mean, when you think about female sports, I like you have to get to the level of like Serena Williams to be
Yeah,
notable.
Especially as women's sports. Yeah.
I
Well,
wouldn't
yeah,
choose
but even
this.
Serena Williams, I remember when they were asking her, and they're like, "Don't you find it offensive that people are saying you can't beat a man?" She's like, "Well, of course I can't beat a man." Like she knew full well that she would get dominated by like a number 300 seed man because it's an entirely different game.
Oh,
So-
absolutely. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna choose a sports athlete type person to do a bioepic on, I don't know if it would be this per se, but I mean, I don't know her
But I
story.
think they make one about Serena Williams. I don't think anyone would watch. It's like, why would you be interested in watching a movie about the runners-up? That's what it is.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
mean, it makes sense. So we wouldn't know who Tanya Harding was if she didn't take off her skate and try
And
to
hurt other people.
Well, not that she took off her skate and tried to. Did she take off her skate and try to stab somebody? I know she, with
It was
the
her
bat,
husband,
she had
wasn't it?
somebody.
See? I wish I'd watched that one. That's
Well,
how you
no,
make this
she-
interesting.
I thought, did she do that? Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I know that her husband or somebody hit the
That was
other
the
girl
husband,
with in the leg so that she couldn't compete.
yeah.
I saw a
but-
male boxing fight where a guy got knocked out and his gran came into the ring and started beating up the other guy with a handbag. It was awesome.
Sweeney used to do martial arts. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So yeah, I feel like it's also she's trying to step away from the Euphoria stuff because she was it was basically she was naked a lot in that show, and that it's a popular show. Who knows if they're even going to continue it because they have all these people that are like blown up now, Zendaya and her and whatever.
I just think that at the peak of your probable fame, when you look the best and you've only got a short window to take advantage of a thing like
right.
youth and beauty,
I am thinking
you should just make the most out of it. And then when you age, just move into complaining that there aren't enough roles for old women and we need to make everyone ugly again like everybody else.
Yeah.
I don't see her
Well-
doing that though.
Well,
At
no,
least
but
from what I can tell.
it doesn't stop the rest of the actresses in Hollywood. It's the standard thing that they do. Even what's her face? Black Widow actress. She started doing it. Oh well, when I was attractive. I now regret
know.
being attractive. Now I just wish I could be ugly and old in my roles. It's that's a coincidence.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just we thought we would just like cover this a little bit because why not? It could be. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be interesting, but it could be one of those that's like you don't need to know the character for it to be good, right? Not the character, but like who she's portraying. It could end up being good. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. We don't know anything about it except that she is.
I'm just not sure how believable it'll be. Like even if she
remember
bulks up and
Charlize-
everything, she's gonna go like this and like give herself a black eye.
You mean look down and give herself a black eye?
Well, she's gonna be like push you. She's gonna be like put your fist up. She go and like hits herself in the face. I'm not sure she has the boxing body.
She's probably still gonna be
At
Hey,
least if she
they
gets
made
knocked
her
out, she
look-
won't fall on her face.
They made her look dumpy in Madam
Madam
Web, so they
Web,
might
yeah.
be able to do this.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So I
different though
think
because
she'll
they
still
put
be-
baggy clothes on her, whereas in this she'll be in very tight fitting clothes.
Yeah, but they could still put something on to like who knows, this boxer, we're not really seeing what she looked like. She could have had big boobs, who knows.
She didn't.
You looked her up.
Well, no, I think in Twitter you posted a picture
Oh yeah, that's
where
right.
you could see her chest.
Yeah.
Because that is the
So-
thing. Like female athletes are generally that kind of like lanky shape.
All the
They don't
boobs
look like
have
Sydney
fat,
Sweeney.
so if you lose a lot of
It was
weight
good,
and they dehydrate and lose a lot of fat, a lot of boxers, fighters, or whatever. So and like I have a picture here if you want to see.
Yeah. Oh. Here.
Um,
Well, that's the thing. Like Sydney Sweeney would go into the heavyweight boxing class
Like-
and chest alone.
look at the
Okay.
difference. Like
Yeah,
there is
they're
no
gonna
breasts.
really have to like duct
Squish 'em.
tape those bad boys.
We're gonna
Yeah.
need
I
like
don't
a.
know.
We're gonna need,
Binders.
like,
So I think she's
the
still.
world
She'll probably
supply of
still be
elastic
like
bands.
kind of pretty, but like look at Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie's a pretty girl. Tanya Harding, not so much. So when she did do the I, Tanya movie, she didn't look. They did a pretty good job making her look like her, but it was like a Hollywood looking like her, right? Like they made her look a little bit prettier because Margot
Yeah.
Robbie is just pretty. So I think it's going to be the same case with this. But also, if you look at Charlize Theron in Monster, she was unrecognizable, and Charlize Theron is a pretty woman, and she was not in Monster. She was playing Eileen Wuornos, and
Oh yeah,
so-
she looked crazy.
she did, yeah.
And everyone who's being hard on Christy after a fight, who's gonna look good? I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you don't wear makeup. If you wear makeup in the boxing ring, you're dumb.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's just me.
Yeah, she could be pretty, but she's an athlete, so
bet
she's
some of them
probably
wear makeup
more
in
of
the
like a
boxing ring.
tomboy, right?
It just seems like a bad idea because if it gets in your eye, then it hinders you from your vision to punch someone.
Yeah.
But hey, to each their own. I think that if she wants to do it, go ahead, but I don't think it's going to help her career, as Disparu said. At this point in her life, I think there's other non-pretty drama roles she could take that could showcase her acting way better.
I don't even think you need to showcase your acting. I think you ride the wave to the biggest movies that you can possibly do, and then just leverage that into the future. You literally want to, when you're on a popularity wave, you just want to keep doing as big a projects as you can do to like get that on your sort of
and so that you can get to as close to A-list actor as possible. But hey.
if you can break through and become like a household name, or just seem like, because you ever notice that sometimes there'll be a year and they're just an actor that's everywhere, and they suddenly become a household name because they're just in everything all of a sudden. That's kind of where you want to get to, and that's where she was going, and now she's suddenly just going to waste time on a film I don't think anyone's going to see.
Well, and I think depending on the budget and the success of the film, which I don't think will be a big success, but if they say use like a $5 million budget and then at least recoup that, that's a success in my eyes. But hey,
well, yeah, for the company, but from the actress's perspective, because she seemed to know business pretty well before, when she was like, well, I only did Madam Web so I could get like contacts in Sony.
Yeah,
was essentially what she said.
Film. Yeah.
So, she actually planned where she was going with a career at that point. So, I mean, maybe she has an idea about this and she knows more than we do about who's involved. But, I don't know. It just seems weird.
Yeah. I guess I won't judge until I see it. Could end up, I don't think it's going to be like $1 Million Baby or anything on that level, but I guess we'll see what happens.
Like, I think about if I wanted a scrappy actress, like Michelle Rodriguez is definitely like one of my top ones that I think like,
like a tough girl. Yeah. I agree with that. She's
put Alyssa McConaughey in it.
Good idea. Versus Frosk.
Yes. The perfect matchup.
That would be actually like, I would love to watch the two of them.
They probably could sell tickets to that kind of thing. I don't know why we haven't had that kind of matchup.
Oh God. Oh, when Gina was on FNT, when she was like, was it Ronda Rousey? She's like,
we want her to fight Ronda.
I would love to see that because when Ronda was at her peak career, like knockouts and whatnot, that is a biopic I think that would maybe be good if she had a good background story. I don't know what she grew up or whatnot, but I think that'd be interesting to watch.
But that's the thing. Even I've heard of Ronda Rousey. And so, like, there's definitely layers of popularity that somehow just filter through into people who have no interest in the thing. That's what got me, though, when she said, yeah, I come back for one fight. The first thing in my mind was the amount of effort that it would take to go from not fighting and presumably, not doing the heavy workout stuff that's required. You need a year
at least to get fit.
The amount of effort just to get back into shape that's a huge commitment.
That's not even get back into shape. And then when you go for weigh-in, there is a specific way to do it. So you are dehydrated and as light as possible so that when you start drinking again, you're like,
well, that was one of my things with Sydney Sweeney. It's like, if the entire point revolves around weight, and you've got all of this just essentially useless weight, well, useless for that regard anyway, incredibly useful in every other aspect of your life, except boxing. And then it's like, well, you'd kind of want to get rid of them. I wonder if there is things like how to actually lose that kind of stuff.
You just lose as much fat as possible because your breasts, especially when you're young, are about like 50.
Well, I don't think it is just fat though, isn't it? There is actually
it's fibrous tissue, which is your like milk ducts, but then a majority is fat. Like, boobs grow as you get bigger and they get smaller as you lose weight. It's just natural.
Just what happens.
Sacrilegious.
It's just what happens. So you don't want your girl to get too skinny.
You're gonna lose the bosoms.
I mean, you do. The hourglass is still.
No,
It's
you're
worth
just like
compromising over.
you're balancing the scales. Not too much weight loss, so that you get the good amount of boobs.
Want them thick. Sorry.
Three C's.
No, I'm against
Three
the whole.
C's.
I'm against the whole.
You want pin
I
straight
still
everything?
spell it with a K. It's like that's.
I'm just saying.
I come from
like,
the '90s.
when I think
I
of
remember
thick,
the thick revolution. I'm against it.
The thick
I'm thinking of
revolution.
Eve.
I remember when society changed.
Stellar
I remember the
Blade.
flip. Everyone was used to be small asses. That was what it used to be, and then it just transformed. And I don't know when it transformed, and I don't know
Kim
whether it was a
Kardashian.
British thing. I don't
Yeah.
know whether American was always like that, and then it came over from America. But I do
Came
remember the British culture changed. It's the strangest thing I've ever witnessed. Because
It's Kim
like I'm the
Kardashian.
it's literally like I've fallen into a parallel dimension because nobody else seems to remember it, but I do. And it's
You fell in the
coupling.
booty hole.
It's in coupling. I have proof. They talk about it in the.
Hey, some people have always been butt people, and some people have been boob people. But if you can have not a thick, and I mean this in a nice way, but lifted, you're doing a lot of good things.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
as
I
they-
think
as they
the
say in
problem
coupling-
with go ahead.
As they say
Whatever.
in coupling, it's God's way of going. As long as you've got cleavage, we don't care which way it's facing.
So I think that thick gets mixed up, right? Like let's say someone might just actually be out of shape and it's like there's no tightness, right? And they're like, oh, thick. But so I think when guys say they like thick, they like fit thick. Xray knows what I'm
Yes.
talking about. Like where there's you work out, you're solid, and you take care of everything, but there's still something there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Xray gets it.
Well, Disparu says the hourglass shape. So you want the
Yes.
coming in at the waist and coming out at the
Because always bring
hip,
up coupling.
them birthing hips.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why maybe some people like a ticker booty.
A
Well,
ticker.
no, there is. There was, as scientists do anything, they always have to take the fun out of things, and so they actually researched like what people like, and it was like, is it about the ass or is it something else? And they actually came out to an angle. It's about
the booty
it's like-
angle.
it's like 37 degrees or something from the spine into the curvature of the ass, and they found out that actually, for people that have like spinal issues where their spine curves inward too much, they can actually have a less of an arse and people still like it just as much because it's the angle of that people like, and guys can pinpoint it. Like
Oh,
they're probably terrible at maths until they're the exact protractor with this thing. It's amazing.
Yeah, I knew this from when I was young because in ballet, you had to tuck your pelvis in a certain angle to get it straight. And it was definitely not the angle that men like their booties. And I've noticed it with a lot of my girlfriends. I don't know, just observation. So
Hold on.
all my ballerina friends.
Emilio! You gotta do the Emilio.
Emilio!
I promise I will try to get Xray during our
It's like
trip
he's falling
to
down
see
a
Night at the
well.
Rocks. Well, you've seen Night at the Roxbury, right, Disparu?
What? Sorry.
It's from Night at the Roxbury when he's like, Emilio! You never seen that movie?
I've never seen it.
Oh no.
to-
Okay, well, I'm
to
trying
me,
to
it
get
just
Xray to
it
see
feels it
Thank
just sounds as
you.
if he's falling down a well. It's like Emilio.
I mean,
It's like you just hear it fade off as it goes.
oh my goodness! All right, Disparu could read this one. We'll get on to our next topic in a second, but we're talking about thickness. You never know what you're gonna get here.
Jadine from 1999. Only because you got a based limey Brit on your show, and guys.
Inositol?
What on earth is that? An inositol.
Unless I'm reading it wrong.
Well, I mean,
Don't
that's
ask
how
me.
it's spelled.
I can't say words.
I don't know what an inositol is.
I love when
It's a
we know she's
supplement?
looking up something, you hear the tap.
It's a form of sugar found in your body.
Oh, it's also a supplement.
We're learning
Vitamin
today.
B8. Okay.
I mean,
What does it do?
apparently it might balance certain chemicals to help with mental conditions, such as panic disorder, depression, and obsessive compulsive disorder. But I'm not sure how that helps the context of Jadine's message.
I'm so sorry, Janine. We're dumb.
This is too highbrow for me.
Maybe for hangovers.
Because sometimes
Too
I think, have I
highbrow.
said that in a video at some point? It's like, no, I definitely don't know what that means.
I would remember if I said a word name called inositol, but no. Sorry.
Oh, back to this conversation. The poop satin in the toilet. What?
Stain.
Did you have to
Oh.
stain?
I knew that one. I got that one.
Okay, I read satin too.
Thank you for the two.
Well, to be fair, that is what it says. But I could autocorrect the degeneracy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's true
Nightmare
love.
for $2. Urinal bidet is dangerously close to sounding.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Wait, what's
What's that?
sounding?
Yeah, what's that?
That's where people shove things in their urethras. I only know that because Kirsch goes around talking about it.
Oh my God. So there's a procedure in Xray where to check the urethra of a male, you inject contrast, which is Xray
Oh,
dye up there.
I thought you were going to say where they shove the camera.
I would love to
that's,
see
that
Disparu on a game
happens
show.
too.
Mm.
I've seen
heard
that
it's-
too, but I don't,
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't partake in that. Like I operate the machine, but I don't help with that procedure.
No.
So
I mean, the helping in that procedure would be like tying them down.
no, they're sedated slightly.
It's slightly.
It depends on how much they want to sedate
Stupid
them.
they are. How brave
No,
they
no,
are.
no. You know, a light sedation's
Look,
better than heavy.
There's just a guy. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Stuff.
Same.
That was one of the moments where Wiki goes, "What's that?" Oh,
No.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
stop
stop
asking.
ask.
I gotta stop asking what stuff is. I don't want to know. You know what? I just don't want to know.
Stuff.
I only learned about it recently, but that again, because wherever Kirsch goes, there's always a super chat about it, and there's always someone goes, "What's that?" It's
Ketchup
that every
bottle?
time.
I heard about the ketchup bottle.
Oh yeah, she's
Not
got
gonna ask.
she's got desk ketchup,
Yeah.
and
weird.
she shakes it, and it makes a really bizarre noise down the microphone. The
Yeah.
strangest thing, and I don't know whether it's because she's drinking or something, but she like there's just kind of a moment where her entire animation like spazzes out, and she's like, and I'm assuming she's drinking, but the entire thing like makes her vibrate from it. It's bizarre. I don't know what.
It depends on how
I'm assuming
her,
she's drinking or gone off the camera.
because like for me, like I know some people can get the very expensive version where it follows your body movements, so it probably is that. Mine just follows my mouse when I do, you know,
Yeah, I think hers is definitely
the
camera done.
expensive stuff. Yeah, good for her. I like VTubing when I'm sick. It's a great way to look good without trying to look good.
I know it was quite an experience when your VTuber came out on the stream and you were like,
I didn't know the VTuber
"Oh."
came out.
Yeah, remember when she was sick and she was like, remember when she laughed? She
I'm
was
a
like,
lesbian, whatever.
Yeah, but only when I'm
"Oh,"
animated.
That went over my head. As a lot happens. Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Poor
Like,
Mark.
look, there's about a couple of months a year I like to dabble, but for the rest of it,
Yeah, when I
When
go to
she's
the
sick.
States, I get sick, and then I'm a lesbian for a couple
Yeah.
weeks, and then I come
you're like
home and
Mark
find
encourages
bikini
it,
again.
but only for 2 months of the year.
Oh no. Jason Webster, thank you for the Australian 10. South Korea is home for some of the most stunningly beautiful actresses and models in the world. Ha Ji
do you
Won.
want me to say
Go ahead.
these?
You're gonna say it better. I'm gonna butcher it all.
Ha
Go for
Ji
it.
Won, Jin Ji Hyun, Jo Bo Ah, Kim So Hyun, Kim Ji In, Song Hai Kyo, and Shin Ye Un.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I mean, you know they sent that super chat so that like Wicked could struggle with it, and then he's like, "You got extra." That's cheating.
Yeah, sorry, I have an Asian friend, okay?
Let me call a
Harukami?
friend.
I've got the cheat
Did I
code.
say that right? Harukami? Harukami?
Yes.
Yay! I'm learning for £10. Thank you.
It's
As
proper
a
money.
man, I get the lesbian thing. Boobs are great, and half the world's population has them. So why would you want to go out with someone who doesn't have any?
Yeah, that's the amazing thing. You have 4 of them. It's like you get a
4?
guest pair. Yeah, because you have a guest pair to play with, and then you've got a pair to take home with you. It's amazing. It's like having a doggy bag at a doggy bag at a restaurant.
I don't want to.
Like you just take the leftovers.
I don't want to diss the small titty committee.
Anyone.
But yeah, big boobs are where it's at. Anyways,
Can't disagree with that.
tis.
Sisters of Bacon for $2. I was gonna say, speaking of big boobs, Sisters of Bacon. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a legendary female boxer. I was waiting for. I thought he was gonna say base.
Hey,
It is.
Ronda Rousey.
They go and have a fight with a
Is the
man. They
most-
can't even reach him. They're like, oh no! He puts his head on her forehead. Defeated.
But Ronda Rousey, was it 3 KOs or was it 2 KOs at the height of her career?
I don't know.
I think it was 3 KOs within like 15 seconds.
Didn't
That
she
is
beat up her
legendary.
boyfriend too.
That I don't know.
I don't know if that was her. Anyway, allegedly. Don't come for me. I don't know.
I'm also putting the boxing community with the MMA community, which I know is not the same.
Be careful.
Isn't MMA? Isn't MMA far more savage?
It is
Yeah,
savage
like-
because it also
Like boxing
includes
has
kicks
rules, but MMA
Yeah.
is like
and
whatever.
grappling. Because grappling, okay, as much as grappling is actually like a technique, I don't
There you
like
go.
watching grappling.
Tap outs, not knockouts.
She had tapas. I thought they actually knocked out.
Hmm.
I vaguely remember at least one knockout. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Oh, it was 2 sub 20-second submissions. Okay, there we go.
Oh, okay. Andrew Matthews, thank you for the £5. Sydney Sweeney in a boxing movie. For some reason, I'm thinking of the speed bag. What? Like just.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like the little
it's probably
smirk
not
you got from
her
Disparu
doing
on
it,
that. Yeah.
but I mean, she's got 2 of them, so she can train 2 people at the same time.
Oh.
Rhonda got knocked out. Thank you, chat.
Oh, okay. Well. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. Okay. Margaret Reality, thank you for the 5. Since Sydney is being athletic in this boxing movie, is she going to be doing jumping jacks in a bikini top, asking for certain members of the chat?
That should just be the movie. Like her entire movie should just be like the Rocky training montage, just dragged out for 90 minutes.
I'm just hurting thinking
Just have
of
it
her
keep going
doing
up and
jumping jacks.
downstairs.
Ouch.
It does hurt.
Like she can do the slow motion Baywatch running on
Oh
a
my
beach.
god, if she was part of Baywatch, like a remake, oh my god.
Well, they are doing a remake of Baywatch.
With
That's
Zac
right, it ain't-
Efron,
I don't know.
please.
Didn't they already do it?
Oh, I thought you knew. It's like no, they were.
Oh, just
No,
knew before
I
us.
thought they did like a kind of remake with like was
Oh,
it
no,
Zac
they've
Efron and The Rock?
They apparently
Yeah,
they
I was
already
gonna say, I
did
thought-
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, Baywatch remake in the works.
Another
April
one.
14th,
Wow.
2023. Yeah, there was one in 2017, and then April 2023 said they're doing another
started.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, if they did Zac Efron, Sydney Sweeney, hell, throw in Henry Cavill,
For
holy,
Disparu. No kidding.
it would be a beautiful Anna
But,
de
I was
Armas
gonna say, don't forget Anna. Yeah.
and Haley Atwell. Hell yeah,
you can't put
People
Hayley
will
Atwell in
watch.
it.
the boobs though.
Wade A.
There's
Parker,
an
thank
age
you for
limit
the
for Baywatch.
for the Canadian 10. King Richard was a movie about Serena and Venus Williams. Will Smith received the Academy Award for it, but like lots of biopics, no one remembers. I don't remember that. That's what that was. I remember
Because he
hearing
didn't
about
slap
it.
anyone. If he'd slapped someone, everyone would have known about it.
He probably got the award that night.
Mm.
It was for that movie.
He should have just backhanded someone with the award. I mean, that would have made it a memorable moment of an award ceremony. Does anyone else know anything about the Oscars that night except the fact that
No.
he slapped somebody?
No,
what I
mean.
and that he didn't get in any trouble and he won awards. He got to just hang out like nothing happened.
Well, I mean, his career hasn't exactly been sparkling since.
No.
It seemed to piss off Hollywood more than the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. But does he
It
really
came-
need to make any more movies? Like
No,
he is well
I-
off enough
I
to.
mean, he's got
be
The
okay with
Boys
that.
coming out this year.
Bad
he
Boys
still
3.
wants to.
Martin Lawrence looks like
Yeah, Bad Boys. This one.
he needs a nap. Like they shouldn't have dragged him on. Like I
No,
love
Will
it.
Smith
So,
was like,
it's the fourth one.
come.
So he's probably trying to revive his career, and he went back to one of his better times. It's 4. So I didn't see 3. That's why I keep saying 3, because I'd only seen the first 2 Bad Boys, and I loved the first 2 Bad
You
Boys.
were
I heard
good.
3 was, but the first 2 loved them. But yeah, but in the 90s, he and early 2000s, he was at the top. We loved Will Smith. Well, most people did. The Men in Black, Independence Day, the Bad Boys movies, and then now.
Wild Wild West.
Yeah, I liked Wild Wild. I loved that.
So did
movie.
I.
That was a great movie. That was the movie where he had the knife on his foot, right?
I watched
he
it on
was
the
like,
plane
yeah.
to Vegas.
Did
He
you?
was on the plane entertainment, so yeah. He still is good.
Oh my god. Okay, I watched a movie on the plane. Bring It On. That was like total
I love
90s
Bring It On.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
I remember on side scrollers they were talking about it. I'm like, is it a classic movie? I call it a classic, but a chick flick classic.
Definitely for like millennials, because that was definitely that time. It was like I don't know if it was like
It's iconic.
1999 or 2000, whatever. But yeah, that's something that Kirsten Dunst complained about, because all her movies are like considered like good now, but when not Bring It On. I think when Bring It On came out, people liked it.
People actually enjoyed it back then, if I remember
yeah,
correctly.
but a lot of her
Had,
other movies,
her from
they
Buffy
weren't
in it.
totally.
The brown
Claire.
Yeah, the
hair
second
chick.
Slayer, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
What was her name?
Oh, they had
Yeah, the
something from
second
Buffy
one.
in it. They had Elijah Dushku, who was Faith.
That's the one I
and they
mean.
also
Faith,
had
yes.
They also had Glory was in it. She was the villain in season 5, Glorificus, the god. She's in it too. Yeah, so they're both in it.
I don't know. That was such a like one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid. So
But yeah,
great stuff.
It was a good one. I would enjoy watching it now. Jason Webster for another 5. Thank you. South Korean actress Lee Si Young won numerous amateur boxing titles in the 48 kg class. She still looks amazingly beautiful and phenomenally ripped. It was, do you want to see it again? Her name was Lee Si Young.
I mean, to be fair, she's South Korean, though. It's kind of cheating. So it's like going, they
It's
still
kinda
look young. Yeah, they
cheating.
all look young. Like, it's like they've got the Fountain of Youth down in that country or something. It's wild.
The Fountain of Youth, yeah. Probably just better food, better skincare, take better care of themselves in general. Jadine for 1999. Thank you. Damn, autocorrect on my iPad is trash. I said guys no. Sorry, we probably said that way too late. It's usually when things get autocorrected, we figure it out, especially with Disparu on the case. He knows. He
I
always
think
corrects.
was that the sugar one? Because the
Yeah,
rest
the
of the tweet
sugar
made
one.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember what auto corrected, but yeah, that makes a lot more sense than random sugars in a human body.
Yeah. Well,
I was like, what?
now it has been corrected. We get it now. It
You
did
try and
go
make
over,
sense out of it. It's like, okay, this is rather technical of a reference.
just a little bit. Nightmare's been a member for 1 month. Thank you. The most famous female boxer is worldwide women's boxing champion Sam Hyde. Now that he's on HRT, like wait,
What?
he's
Yeah, it's like, who
Oh,
was he after?
no.
He was after that politics streamer on Twitch, Hassan. We kept asking
Oh.
Hassan for a boxing match, and Hassan was crapping himself. He was petrified.
Yeah, I'd be too. Forget that. Adds his wonky eyebrow for £2. Thank you. Don't forget Something Wong and We Too Lu. What?
We too low.
We Too Low.
Yeah,
said
something
Lou.
Wong. Yeah.
Baywatch remake. Hasselhoff or not legit? How
Mhm.
old
Don't
is
hassle.
David?
No one hassles the Hoff.
No one hassles. How old is he now? Hold on, I gotta look that up.
He used to go around with a T-shirt on that said that. Don't hassle the
Hoff.
Hoff.
Yeah. He's 71 now. Wow.
Yeah, he had a music career and everything. I remember one of his music videos where he's
Wasn't
like
it,
going
really-
through the ocean.
Yeah,
It's
wasn't that
really weird?
It's super big, like in Germany and stuff, right?
Yeah. He had a whole singing career.
Yeah. Well, he was big. He was right in that 90s. Was it? It was 90s, right? It wasn't like late 80s that Baywatch started. It was early 90s.
Probably.
I don't
I
remember.
think.
But this is the whole point. Like you say, he was big, so he rode the wave and just did everything he could while he was in the public eye, rather than going off and pretending to do a boxing
To be a
movie.
boxer.
Yeah, such a weird choice.
It is pretty random, but we'll see how it turns out. Dave Chandler, thank you for another 5. King Richard was actually a good film about sacrifice and hard work a father puts into his daughters. Will Smith slapped it out of the room. I didn't mean to click
Is
that.
that a hit out of the park? Yeah.
He slapped it out of the room. I remember watching the Dave Chappelle stand up, the more recent one where he was talking about that because he went on tour, I think, a little bit with Chris Rock afterwards. But he said when it happened, he like video called him like right after he found out that he got slapped, and he was like, "You're the only person I'd answer for." Like Chris Rock was so mad, and he was like, everyone's blowing him up, and he was just like, "What? What?" So do you guys think that it was fake or what?
No.
I don't think
It
it
was real.
Mhm.
If it was
I think
fake,
it was
it would have
real.
been
You
less
only had
dramatic.
aggressive.
Yeah.
well,
Aggressive,
also
well.
his career wouldn't have had consequences. It would have been used to propel him forwards, not out of the limelight. And
Yeah.
quite, you only had to look at her reaction
Mhm.
when the jokes were on about her to see exactly why it all happened. Because he was laughing, she had a face like a slapped ass. He saw her and thought, if I don't do something, she's going to be around here, and like half of the people in this room are going to have her by the end of like tonight. So
Mhm.
I'm going to try and
Damn.
desperately save my manhood by acting like the white knight and trying to be chivalrous. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He was trying to win the respect of somebody who, quite frankly, isn't worth trying.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Yeah,
And she was like half out of the relationship before the relationship
She's
started.
entirely out of it.
she never
She's
even
been
wanted to
so
get
out of it,
married.
half the continent has been in it.
Anywho,
Anywho, speaking of, we were talking about. Let's do the Lord of the Rings right now before we forget.
Yeah.
We're done.
I
We still
don't
got
want
time,
it. Is all I have to say.
That's actually what Will Smith was desperately trying to prevent, the destruction of her ring.
Well, you shouldn't have put a ring on it, I guess.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to
Um,
leave if she can't take half your stuff that she didn't deserve.
So, from my understanding, what this movie is about, I'm not interested in it. It's supposed to be like the hunt for Gollum. So, it's like
It's
a
a Gollum-
prequel within
yeah.
the sequel of the movie, of a section that we know the ending to. Why would I want to watch a story that I know the end to?
Also, it's about Gollum, and quite frankly, I've always found Gollum to be the least interesting part of the trilogy.
Yeah.
So I don't really care. This is why when they made a video game about him, I was like, why? Well, I don't know why everyone's acting like he's a really important and interesting character that is celebrated by people.
He was just needed. And I will say this, Andy Serkis did a great job doing Gollum. I honestly think that if he was able to win some sort of award for his portrayal of Gollum, he should have, but he didn't. And it's kind of sad in that part because his the mocap suits with the animation as well as the voice, like I don't think anyone could have done anything like that. But I don't need to know more about Gollum. I have learned what I need to know based on Lord of the Rings about his character to be
Yeah.
happy with it.
They're
The
just
trilogy
milking it.
ended-
I don't think it's gonna do well. People, I mean, look what happened with the Rings of Power. Like it.
The trilogy ended with Aragorn taking over as king, and you could have literally just led off from there. It's like,
Mhm.
what happens? Because now there's this big, massive power vacuum. You've got you won't. There'll be loads of evil creatures across the land who now suddenly don't have a leader. What are they gonna do? And it wasn't really in a case of like, oh, everything's sorted now. It's all great. It's like you could have easily have had something springing up that is now taking the place of something else, all vying for power. And he would have been in a good place because now you've got a king, he's got armies and everything. You could have done something really impressive with that. And instead, we're just going to look for a character no one
But
really
they're
likes.
just using the same thing, like how Rings of Power is. They're relying on this IP in order to thrust them into success, which it hasn't shown to be successful. So why beat a dead horse?
Well, the thing is, if you're spending this much money on a movie, you are more likely to have success with a proven IP than an original franchise. Like, look at Fall Guy. Yeah, I mean, yes, it was based on something else, but it's so old, nobody really knew. Like, most people seem to have had to have been told that it was based on anything at all, and even then it wasn't really based on anything, and nobody goes to see it. So, people are more likely to go and watch a Lord of the Rings film than, you know, Steve and his Three Stooges go after a dwarf.
Yeah. It's true.
God.
I really don't think this is gonna do well. I mean, everyone, like I said, you already saw what happened with Rings of Power, and Lord of the Rings is a franchise where people get really upset when you touch it and like mess it up, and they're not obviously they're gonna mess it up. And like Xray said, who really wants a whole story of Gollum? You already know his story, so what are they gonna add to it? Not much.
Well, that's what I don't get. It's called. It will center on the character of Gollum, but if it's called The Hunt for Gollum, you would imagine that. Actually, it wasn't really about him. It was about people looking for him. I don't really know anything about this, but I don't know how much information they've even released. You see, we're going to explore storylines, so they haven't given any real information about what it is.
It's going to be 2 movies?
Oh, God. The second one's going to be even worse than the first. Like, the fact that they're trying to expand on an IP where the creator isn't a part of it, obviously, because he's not here with us. It's like, are you actually seeing his vision coming to fruition? No, you're putting your ideology, your message into this, not his message. Can you really get into his head and write a story that will resonate with people? I don't think so. Not that you've shown it.
That's why I've been saying that Hollywood is literally incapable of making anything good at the moment, because their morality has changed. Any values they put into it, they tend to focus around like feminine morality, so you end up with feminine heroes, which don't resonate with everybody because they're about equality and inclusion, and rather than hierarchy and justice. And the original Lord of the Rings was very much based in masculine morality, and so they would literally have to entirely about face everything that Hollywood has become to make a good Lord of the Rings movie.
And like, I don't understand what has happened since Tolkien's death, who runs the estate, who runs the IP, who gets paid and all that. But I suppose at this point, they're just trying to cash in checks.
I wonder if it's anybody in his family, because, you know, like with Disney, no Walt Disney family member has their hands on anything, which I'm sure there was a lot of like, it was about like stockholders or what. I don't know the details on that either, but it's like he's turning over in his grave, seeing everything that's been done now, because it's all about family values and everything, right? And what they're doing. So Tolkien, I wonder if anyone knows, let us know. Like, does somebody else own all
There's
this?
there's the Tolkien estate, which is owned by his family. The issue is, as with anything, as with Disney, the further you get away from the original person, the less they care. This is why 70% of a family's generational wealth is gone in the next generation. By the time you get 2 generations down, it's 90% is gone.
Unless they're really like entrenched in the business.
Well, old money, which has been passed down for generations, generally train their kid to also pass it down for generations. But if like you became a multi-billionaire by 2 generations down, you've got like 90% chance that they will have wasted it all.
That's why I respect. I think it was Jackie Chan who's like, his kids are not going to inherit his.
I don't like
wealth.
That. Because
he wants them to like, he'll help them. Build their wealth.
Yes, there are ways where you can support things. There was a guy in the UK where essentially he built a system where he wanted to reward certain things. So it's like, whatever you earn in your job, I'll double it. If you go into something which is like beneficial for other people, I'll triple it. If you go and become a doctor, I'll quadruple it. And so it was like rewarding
for working hard.
Yes. The issue is, I think we're now entering a time where parents essentially hate their kids. And you were used to want to build throughout your life so that you could pass it down to your kids so they had a better life than you did. And now we're entering a time where they're like, well, I can't spend it when I'm dead. Might as well go on holiday and then just leave the kids nothing. I really don't like that attitude myself.
Well, and I think that's the hard part is like if you, with your kids, grow up in a very, what's the word for it? Like you don't have a lot of issues growing up, and I'm not meaning like mental issues. I'm like just like hard things in life. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but when you don't have that, and all the things you have to overcome is with money, and all of it's overcome, you don't have that adversity to build your personality and understand and be empathetic when it comes to
That's
working in the
true.
business world.
You just need a father's way of raising children rather than a
Yeah.
mother's.
So-
Mothers raise infants, men raise adults. That's basically it. This is why you're supposed to have multiple kids, so that the mother, once the child gets to like 3 or 4, she's gone on to the next infant, and then the father takes over the rearing of the kid to raise them for adulthood. A father would never allow the kid to... He doesn't do the helicopter parenting when he gets rid of everything in their way. No, he lets them make mistakes. He's the one that she's like, lets them go over and hurt themselves. And they learn that way.
And I think it's good to have siblings too,
because she's meant to raise babies.
Like when you have siblings, you understand how to more social interaction than being an only child, which I think there's a lot of only children in this world because kids are now known as a burden financially versus beneficiary when you have multiple.
Yeah, I mean, well, it always used to be the case that if you're an only child, it was like something had gone wrong, like she'd gone infertile or something. Used to be 3 and 4 children and stuff were the norm. So I think basically if you want to look at how you should live, basically the closer you get back to how we evolved is probably the best thing for everyone involved and probably what will bring you the most satisfaction. And the closer you get to modernity, it's probably the worse it is. I think it's a pretty good North Star because especially when you get back to how we evolved, that's what you will have evolved. That's what you will have had your body get used to, reward you for, will give you a better mental state. And so anything like only children and stuff, no.
I
You're supposed to be
understand why.
popping out kids when you're in like 21. So you have 1 kid until you're like, what, 35? It's going to be unlikely.
Yeah, I think I don't see a problem with passing your wealth down to your kids, but you need to make them work for it. It's really important because you're not doing your kids any favors by just giving them money.
of
Not like
course.
I always say, make your kid work in like retail or a restaurant business for a little bit so they can see what it's really like. Because that's rough. It builds social skills. You deal with jerks all the time. You still meet some nice people, but yeah, I mean, I guess it depends. Like for a boy, maybe they'll be like, okay, go work in construction or something. But I'm just saying a job that everyone can probably do. So I understand where some of these people might be like, oh, I don't want to leave it down, but it's just like you should still want to see your kids taken care of, but you got to
Do
show
the
them
best
the
that they
value.
can.
Yeah, show them the value of $1. Don't just be like, oh, you want this? There you go. You know, because I started working. I was babysitting at like 12, but as soon as I could get my working papers, I jumped into the restaurant business, and yeah, that's not easy, but it definitely helped me grow.
You're also forgetting what inheritance is, though. Like inheritance is after your parents are dead. So
Yeah.
there's no saying you have to give them any money while you're still alive. It's literally the people that go, when I die, they're getting nothing. It's like,
Yeah, I don't
why?
agree with that.
Like you are meant to. The entire point is that through the generations you work and scrimp and scrave, so that every generations get better than the one before when you raise through the social hierarchy. That was what it was always meant to be. That's what it was in England going back through the ages.
Yeah.
And so just to cut it off and go, no, I don't care about you. You start from the top. It's just because that was essentially the boomer attitude with everything. That's been the attitude with the economy and pensions, all of the social help and everything was literally, we get this, everyone else can pay for it, and then it'll collapse.
I will
and
also
so you're essentially
say
doing that with your own kids.
there's a huge culture difference between like Asian culture, American culture. I'm not sure about British culture, but I'm just going to put Canada and America into it. The way they treat their elders versus their kids as well is vastly different. Like you end up staying at the house until you're
They
married.
have like multi-generational households, don't they? In
Yes.
sort of the Asian countries, yeah.
Like we're so used to it. And like I've talked to like when I was dating, I'm like, how do you feel about like if my parents aren't okay, but they're not, well enough to or bad enough to be in a home, would you be okay with them being in the house? Because that was something that was super important to me. And not a lot of Americanized people were okay with that. And so it was actually very interesting seeing that.
That was more common over here. Like they would at one point, I can't remember what they were called, but there were like people would build like an extension on their house that had like a kitchen
The
and a
in-law
bedroom in.
suite, right?
Yeah, and it was like a separate house but attached to the house. It wasn't exactly common, but it was it was part of the thing. And that used to be the norm before social healthcare and everything. That's basically what everyone would do because they didn't have any choice. Are you going to let them go on the street or are you going to let them live with you? Well, that's not a choice at all, is it? So it was only...
With me.
Well, exactly. So it was only when the state stepped in did it ruin all the family bonds, which is the same with anything.
Yeah. 16-bit. It's kind of true, I guess, but I would be okay if Mark needed to take care of his parents, but that's just me as well. So
if you have to take care of your parents, that's different. But if it's like a weird attachment thing, then probably
no,
not.
if it's a weird attachment
if they
thing,
need help, then
There's difference between being ill and just
and a mama's
and
boy
then just being
living there.
attached.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's done.
I don't know why it does it the second time. Like you
haven't
We go
left
for longer now.
it's set to restart at a certain time, and then I don't know what that one's
He's
for.
got a button. So yeah, I agree with that, but it is pretty messed up. Like once you're gone, it's like, what are you gonna do with the money? You're not gonna give it to your kids.
You're gonna leave it to like a cat sanctuary or something. It just seems spiteful.
It does.
Like I could understand if the kids have never done anything for you and you don't like them, I can completely understand it. But unless you're deliberately doing it to spite them, I don't get it.
Just because you want them to work to get to that level, nothing wrong with teaching your kids the value, like I said, hard work and all that. But you can
I'm not sure about Jackie. I know Bill Gates isn't leaving a lot of stuff to his kids, but if they've settled their own life, I mean, if you feel passionate about a charity, maybe you want to do that. I don't know.
Even then, like if you want them to live in a certain way, put it in a trust, give them like enough to survive, so they're never going to be like homeless or whatever. Link it to inflation, and then set like limits. So if you like have a family and kids or whatever you think is a fulfilling life, then you can give them like bonuses and things. There are ways to encourage behavior without forcing behavior, if that's the way you want to go. It just seems, I don't know, to just be like, oh, they're not getting a penny. Like, why do you hate them so much?
You're right. It's spiteful.
That's your genetics. You want to carry the genetics as long as possible, as they say.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but your children are essentially
legacy.
you living into the future. So you should want your
trust.
future lineage to have the best, not just be scattered to the wind, like randomly.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me get some of these super chats before we go on to our next little topic. It's not a very big one, but it's funny. The Harley one. Dave Chandler, thank you for the 5.
That was a poor choice of words for the Harley picture.
I know. I'm with Xray girl. Lord of the Rings is perfect. The Hobbit and Rings of Power proves there's nothing they can do to improve it. Leave it alone.
Yes. Don't put
This
a
isn't gonna
story
do
in
well. Like,
between it.
And the Hobbit
who
was...
out of the fans? I've only seen the first Lord of the Rings. I will eventually watch all of them. I know. That's one of the franchises I never fully watched. I saw the
Second
first
one's
one in
the best
theaters.
one, so you
That's
might
what
as well
I've
at least
heard.
watch that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
the two towers at the
It's
end.
been a while, so
Oh,
I'm gonna
you'll
have to
love it.
watch. I'm gonna have to rewatch the first one
Oh
because I saw
my
it in
gosh, should we
theaters.
watch the extended edition instead? I think we should.
We've got so much to watch on our.
I was gonna say, you watch the extended editions of all those. There's a day gone.
There we go. We're
Yeah.
there.
Honestly, Wicked, I think we should do that as a group. I would be very down to watch the extended.
Yeah, let's do it. Mark of Reality, thank you for the 10. Normal people can make money with a large budget and an established IP. Amazon and Disney, not so much.
They ruin it by being Amazon and Disney.
And it never
And I
used to
think
be
by this
like
point-
that.
I think by this point we can all agree that no one in Hollywood is normal.
No.
Very much so.
Rye the Guy for 10. The search for Gollum will be about Gollum trying to find out which one of the 200 genders and orientations
I
he
didn't see
is
that one
and what
coming up,
pronouns he wants to go
Olivia.
by.
Oh
No,
my
neither did
God.
I. I mean, that's yeah.
I actually thought that was a serious super chat. It was like, no, it's
I wasn't ready for that either.
yeah.
Blab's a tower retard for 5. Thank you. Shaq told all his kids at 21 they had to show him a college diploma or a business plan to get a share of his money. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
That just shows work, and I
It
think
shows
at
that he cares. I
Encouraging
think
your kids is
to
good.
do
Like,
yeah. It's so I think that I know some parents mean well when they just kind of give and take care of their kids, but I feel like you're setting them up for failure, and you don't people that like what Shaq did there, he cares more because when he's gone, what are they going to do when he's gone?
they have to still at least work hard and be able to pay their bills. That is a skill that's not always taught. And like my mom, I love the way she did it, and you don't have to model this, but when we bought cell phones for our first time, we just gave her the money and she's like, okay. She ended up putting in a savings account and then paid it for us. And then we ended up getting the savings in the end when we went to school. So I thought that was actually really cool of her.
Nice.
Not that it was like a huge amount, but it was just showing that you're responsible.
Yeah,
you know,
I had to buy my first cell phone.
Yeah. But it's just like these little things. You got to work towards something, and then they'll reward you for it. Like it should be in society, not just the mere existence of you as a reward, as we've seen with some people who don't believe in individualism.
I was also 18. I think I was 18 at the time. So my first phone was a Motorola Razr. I loved the Motorola Razr. It was awesome.
I had a pink one.
I never had
Didn't
that.
know
I had
they did
like
a pink one.
I think my first one was like, do you remember? I think Cricket's still around, right? It was like a Kyocera something like that. You drop it and it breaks the ground. One of those phones.
Oh yeah, like the 8210 was the small one, but was it like the 8810 or something? That Nokia could survive, I think. My dad had one of the, I think it was the 80 something 10, and he had a van. And he dropped the phone in the van door, didn't know it was there. So he was pulling the door and slamming it, wouldn't close. So he'd literally slam it again. He said to slam it 5 or 6 times before I realized the phone was in the door. Nothing. Not a scratch. These things were indestructible. And the battery lasted for weeks. They were insane.
Back in the day when they made things good.
Yeah. You want to read this one, Xray?
I was watching a thing about ThinkPad laptops, and even those, they had like a roll cage inside.
Oh, I like the red mouse. The little...
The nipple.
Thank you. I didn't know what to call it.
No, it's literally, it's what it's called.
Yeah, so you use that instead of the touchpad. I like that a lot more. But Marker Reality for 5 says, in the modern world, if a family is in a rural area, they tend to have more children than urban areas. Free farm hands versus human pets.
Yep.
It's actually true.
And there's also a thing, like there's been studies on rats that as things in a certain population density get too high, people stop having kids. And they just stopped doing anything, and they were stimulating themselves, shall we say. That's all they started doing. Like it's not good. Like I think cities as a whole are not a good idea for people.
No, I prefer like country, suburb areas.
And people are generally happier in the country that I've experienced. I find there's a lot more stress that comes with being in a populated, dense area.
Yeah.
And you can actually touch grass out in the country and see water, hear water, like little things like that.
The sounds of nature. Yeah, I love that. Dave Chandler, thank you for the 2. Click the Nicole Kidman article. Oh, sorry. That must have been when I had maybe the Gollum movie up. Sorry.
I love you just become like someone's personal web browser. It's just like, click this one. No, now I'll go on Google.
As is wonky eyebrow for £2. Thank you. I moved my parents in with me financially. Works.
And hey, if you can figure out a way to live with them, that's awesome.
Yeah. Sometimes it does.
I think it's probably different between you living with them and them moving in with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because then It puts a different power dynamic in it. It's no longer you live under my house, and everyone slips back into the roles that they had for decades, kind of thing. It's a bit of a different thing when they're in your house. You'll probably avoid a lot of the issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It also depends on your parents too. Like I've seen a lot of parents who are super nosy, and then a lot of parents who are just like super like
chill and
Yeah.
like mind their own business. Yeah. Nosy, no. That's I couldn't imagine that. I had friends in high school. My mom was never like this. She was one of the chill ones, like just like don't start fires or whatever, like be good. But I had friends' moms that would like listen to the door, like for conversations and stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing with your life? You're listening to your 15-year-old conversation about like, Ben from homeroom being cute. Like go fold laundry or something. What are you doing? Like my mom would never be like that. I just could not imagine. Yeah, but you're right about that for sure. Harukami for another £5. Thank you. My kids have their inheritance already. I put down the deposit for their first house and it gets them out of mine. That's awesome.
Well, that's the thing as well.
Dang.
It will enable them to gain like an inflation resistant asset really early. So helping your kids with that is just a great idea. The thing is, though, with an inheritance just being anything that's left over of the estate, I'm not sure how you can give your inheritance before you've gone, because you presumably still own things.
That's
still
one
here.
of the weird things.
I'm not sure how that works.
I will say this. I think depending on your family, like, and the situation, and this is the problem with wanting to live in cities, that I've seen families be like, okay, instead of giving you the inheritance, we're going to help you with the down payment, which with the super chatter, they planned it that way, whereas it's kind of turned the opposite, where you had this inheritance where you're saving for your kids or your retirement.
No,
and I don't think it's necessarily okay to take your retirement for your kids' down payment.
I get the idea of you give them the inheritance before, but you still own things, so when you die, there's still inheritance left. So unless
Hopefully
it's like that's going to my
will.
sister or something, and everybody knows that she hasn't had her share, but you've had your share. I guess that would work
That's
out
your
that
will.
way.
Then you have to update it as soon as you give it, right?
Well, yeah, I was just wondering where the stuff that you currently own goes. It's like,
Yeah.
because presumably you didn't give everything to maybe, unless it's like I literally sign my assets over to you as part of the collateral for the house or whatever.
You can transfer property and capital as a legal gift. Okay.
Yeah,
and I
I've
think
heard people do that to avoid the taxes.
the capital gains, because like depending on of course country law as well, you might have to pay certain taxes upon inheritance, which is so stupid in my opinion. Why do I have to pay taxes on something?
Well, it's because it's already been taxed.
Given to you. Yeah.
Well, no, it's already been taxed by the government on income. So then you bought an asset. So that capital is being taxed twice when it goes through that system, which is why it doesn't make any sense. And that's even if you believe in taxes in the first place.
That's true.
Jason Webster, thank you for another 5. In 2024, Disney has only earned 2.7% of the domestic box office share. Warner Brothers leads with 33%.
That's so sad.
I didn't know those figures.
That is, yeah.
That's really
crazy.
sad.
That is. Oh, Xray, you could probably relate with this one.
Nightmare for Two says, as an Asian, work would take away from studies. And now, I actually worked really young. I think around 14 was my first job, and my parents supported that. So who knows?
Yeah, it's tough because it teaches you like responsibility with money, because something given has no value, and so earning your own money will make you respect money more. And I think it gives you a better work ethic, which could actually help you study in the first place, because you have to get ready for work, you have to organize, you have to stick to a schedule and stuff. So that could actually help with studies. Because my issue was early education was so easy, I never tried. And then when I hit a level where I would have to try, I never did, because I was used to not for well over a decade.
A lot of boys do that, I find.
Yeah, it was suddenly like a challenge, and then that led on further that I just didn't try or anything later. It took me a long time to get out of that habit, and even now, still kind of in that habit. So yeah, there are
no.
benefits to doing things like work at a young age.
Oh, well, I mean, to each their own. I was very lucky that when I was younger, I did dance and had a bunch of different hobbies. And then when I started moving to work, I still had dance and a bunch of hobbies. And it helped out with getting this job for Friday or for Nerdrotic. So
What,
who
dance?
Yeah.
would have known? Huh?
Dance helped?
Organization. So what I would do is in between my classes, I would do homework. And like, because that's just the way it landed, and trying to keep as organized as possible, and it just ended up working for this job that I have now.
Yeah, they prepped you for it.
Somehow, who would have thunk? I was
Hey,
a
it all
competitive
worked
dance
out.
kid, okay, and I did like shows, and I was part of a dance team and whatnot. So
Maybe you would like the twist section of Doctor Who.
no, I love. That's why I loved Barbie, was because of the song and dance,
dance.
section. But there should have
Yeah.
been more of that. I don't think I'm interested in Doctor Who for the song and dance section. I don't think about
Well,
that.
That's the thing. I can't really judge it. I don't think the song and dance section is bad. I'm just like, why is this here?
But that's how I
It's
would
like,
feel.
I
Like
don't want any of this.
it makes sense for Barbie, but
don't
it
think
doesn't
it
make sense for
does.
Doctor Who.
It makes sense for Barbie because the Barbie movie is supposed to be like little girls playing with the dolls
And music and
Yeah.
fun and like there
that was
there was music videos
But
for
Doctor
Barbie.
Who's
That was the weird thing. This entire episode is about the god of music. They could have put a dance number in the actual episode, but instead
They
they waited
didn't?
till they killed the god of music and then just
Oh.
did it randomly at the end.
So that makes it even worse. That's
Yeah.
weird. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you bring up a good point, sir.
Because it's not like Buffy where they
was
they
just gonna
literally
bring
had a
up the
god that
ones
made
more
people
with-
dance and sing
yeah.
and stuff. They didn't
Yeah.
build it in like that. That would have
I was gonna bring it
probably
up,
been
but I'm like,
copying, but-
just like you always bring up coupling, I always find a way to bring Buffy into it. But
Well, that's
you beat
because
me to
I
it.
think everybody should watch coupling. One of the
Yeah.
interesting things I found out during
And
Doctor Who
Buffy.
actually was I looked it up because there was an American version of coupling that it was awful. But then I found out when I looked it up, they actually used the original scripts. So the change between the American and the British version was literally that they just took out the British actors and put American people in. And that alone destroyed the comedy. Because they can't represent the British culture that was inherent in the script. You lose something in the translation when you don't have British people in British things. So you can talk about representation around the world all you want. That destroys the original meaning of the show. Which is also why I think one of the reasons why QT Gatwa couldn't be Doctor Who in the first place. As he's Rwandan, he's not British, and therefore something gets lost in translation. You can't accurately represent the culture.
There's probably a lot of Rwandan British people who are primarily British that they could
He
have
was born
hired.
in Rwanda.
But that's what I'm
He's not
saying.
British-
There's
he's not
probably
British at
someone
all.
there that could have done better than him if they
Well,
wanted a black
They could have
guy.
just had an actual British person.
Yeah.
There's plenty
They
of
could've-
us.
There's plenty of them. Okay, we'll go on to the last topic here. This would have we should have tied this in during the boob talk because
Sorry, because it's the weirdest looking boobs ever.
I can't zoom in. Wait,
You
There we go.
There you go.
that's Harley Quinn, folks.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Okay,
Halle
for
Bailey.
one. Okay, whatever.
You
She's
get your
Asian. I don't care about that, but they made her eyes so slitty. How can you tell she is Asian? Right? Like, besides that, her
Right?
chinky little eyes.
It's weird. They made her very like beefy, right?
Look, her
Well-
arms are humongous.
Yep. Incredibly wide shoulders.
Like in a
And this is-
big face.
And
But
isn't this supposed to be in the animated series universe?
She'd actually have a massive neck. Like if you removed all that flowery stuff, her neck would be massive.
And there's Jim Gordon. No, it's not the same universe. Never mind then. Okay, I didn't see. I
I
didn't
mean,
pay.
he looks fine. Like, I'm not
except it's a
perturbed
race
by
change,
him.
but
Wait. He looks
Hey.
fine.
In comparison to Harley,
he's supposed to be a.
I just want to know.
Deal.
I just want to know why he's been. He must be
Yeah,
friends
she's
with
a
Justin
bad-
Trudeau. That's all I can think.
Oh my god. I can deal with him more than this look.
I agree with that.
I just there's only
awful.
one bit of the image that everyone else is critiqued everything else. I just don't know what is going on.
With her boobs?
Yeah.
Yeah, Disparu made a
So,
joke.
They're too high
Um,
up. They're too far apart, and they're a
and they're
weird
too
shape.
small and like the only time I've ever seen boobs like that with the pectoral line is when they're beefy or overweight. So they're
Well, I mean,
insinuating
they're
she's
up
an
here.
overweight person.
Like, unironically, they're just underneath her armpits. They're incredibly high.
It's like orangutan. Like,
I just laugh because I just watched the Apes movies. That's why.
It's almost as if she doesn't have any, and then she put on a suit that was too tight, and it just kind of got a bit of her skin and just pushed it up there.
yeah, she's wearing a push-up.
It's like she needs to
Jester
put more
suit.
talc on before she puts a costume on next time.
And like I've seen so many renditions of Harley Quinn that like it doesn't look like her. She just looks like a clown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even the right colors. Like, come on, black and red. That is, if you're gonna go with the Jester, like the Jester outfit, that's the staple look, black and red. I'm
Oh,
gonna
because
complain
she's
about that 'cause I like
Asian.
old
She's
school.
yellow and black. Black and
Oh.
yellow, black and yellow. I don't know.
I mean, the majority of what I first learned about the universe, I think I saw some of the animations and stuff when I was a kid, but the majority came from the games, and so that's the Harley Quinn that I liked. And then you show me this, and I'm like, what?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
At
From
least
the
be able to
art-
improve over time.
Harley
Like-
Quinn could outlive Batman, right? The guy. Thank you for the
Oh,
yeah. Agreed.
I'm
That could be
looking
Batman.
at a bunch of different Harley renditions that are
There you are.
animated, and she just looks horrendous in comparison. And I'll just show you the I just wrote Harley Quinn animated.
Yeah, I love that's my favorite. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
how do I get
My
rid of
favorite
that? I
is
don't know.
the
Just click another image; it'll go on the side.
There, thank
Yeah.
you. But like all of them, they look fine. Nothing's weird about them. I don't know.
How
Even
many of them
lesbian
are
Harley
her?
looks
I was
great.
gonna say, how many of them are her kissing Ivy?
I mean, she looks fine here, but like they did
I think
Harley
that's the-
dirty.
I think that's also
Yeah.
another modern series, from what I remember
Yes.
people talking about.
Yes. I'm not even thinking of that, but like it's all that's coming up right now. But she still
See, there you
looks like
go.
a
From
girl.
Game Rant, that seems like what they were, the kind of thing they were going for. And it's like, how did you miss?
Yeah, that's the the Suicide Squad animated movie, I think. Yeah, I don't know what this is. It's gross. I love the classic Batman the animated series, Harley. Like even that looks so good. I mean, even I'm not a
Like,
fan of the
even
new
this.
show.
I think that's what they
but-
were aiming for, as a like the base inspiration. And then I don't know where
It didn't hit.
No, I don't know how they ended up at the current thing. Probably by going through like various different consultants, and they asked people with blue hair, like, what should we change about her? And they're like, well, she needs to have a worse body than I do, because otherwise it makes me feel uncomfortable. And I feel
But
unsafe.
the people who they're interviewing, if they are doing focus groups, are super biased. So I don't know which consulting group they're talking to, but it sucks.
They need to get some new ones. That's
Like you think Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie.
yeah.
Tell me how that
I mean,
didn't
for live
translate over.
action, yeah. Yeah, it's
Even
stupid.
that though, they made. I still don't like Margot Robbie's costume in those movies.
I like
I
it
think if
because
they
it
put her
was
in
like,
one of
it
the more
was like,
traditional outfits, it would have been way better.
like one of the
But she's
I
supposed
liked
to be
it.
like a femme fatale almost.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah, that didn't come.
they were paying
Not
homage
under, like the
to
little shorts and stuff.
to Blondie
If they'd put her
in
in
the 80s.
the
It was like a look
game
that they
skins, she would look way better.
I'm offended as an Asian that they would portray an Asian
I know,
version like
that's
that.
not- Asians are usually pretty like
Come on,
looking and yeah, like I would say small like her, like
But
she's
what-
tiny. That's like she's a wrestle like a I don't know a something. She's a something. She's a bodybuilder or something. It's yeah. It's something. Nightmare, thank you for the 5. Asian Harley is Bruce's therapist. Bruce Timm went woke. His old art was sexy, did nude sketches of Harley, ripped Kevin Conroy sad. Bruce Timm was one of my favorite artists because of Batman the animated series and all that. Like that all looked so great. He did that that's really that's so disappointing. So disappointing.
The weird thing was
Uh,
in Gotham Knights, there was one of the actresses in that who probably would have made like a good Harley Quinn. Like she
Which
carried
one?
that entire show. She was the one that played Joker's daughter. Like she would have actually had the talent. Her as an actress, like she played a Joker's daughter character really well. And
Olivia Rose Keegan? I
you
think.
always remember the name.
No, I was Googling it.
yeah, and it's like I don't know about the looks for this role in particular and stuff. I'm more on about like her acting ability rather than whether she looks the part.
Okay.
Okay, if it is this girl, like she is very like I could see it.
Yeah, that's her. Although she looked way different in Gotham Knights.
She's
I
probably
could see it.
younger.
But she had the acting ability to pull it off well. And
I
so
can see it.
I think there's just
That's
there's so many
unfortunate.
people that can do the that was that she was like basically the only good thing about that show. The scenes she was in was good, and then everything else was awful. And there were some scenes with her and an old woman, and they were just the best things about the entire show. At one
Yeah, I
point,
think of
she attacked
Arlene
this
when I
old
think of
pensioner
Harley.
with a dagger.
Just cracking up. How is Asian the name Harleen Quinzel? Yeah, she definitely looks like she could play Harley. She would be a good pick too because she's young, so she'd be able to play the role for a while. But Hollywood doesn't care.
Hollywood does what Hollywood does.
Yes. Old Renaissancer, thank you for the 199. Melanie Mac called it guerrilla
Yeah.
linebacker. Yeah, that's the vibe.
Melanie Mac's video is good. At one point, she goes, "She's got this posture, and she's like that." What the hell?
Jason Webster, thank you for another 5. Question: what was your first job out of college or high school? My first job was working in the authorities department for a bank. Well, I started working like through high school and even like college years was restaurant work. I did restaurant work, daycare. I never stopped working.
I mean, out of would have been. I think I did shelf stacking first. 'Cause I did like that Christmas. Well, I did that while I was there. So like Christmas holiday kind of thing is what I did that.
I worked in aesthetics, manicures, pedicures, facial waxing, and then I went to waxing only because it was more lucrative. Whatever.
Yeah. We've talked about your like Brazilian wax.
Hey,
you've had
a
to
Brazilian's
do.
$50. $50.
Oh, I'm not saying anything
$50
wrong with it. That's what I mean.
for
Like it's got to
15
be
minutes?
expensive to have
Yeah,
to
why
do
would
that.
anyone
Yeah.
wax ducks?
No, that's evil. $50 for 15 minutes or a pedicure for an hour. So
Yeah,
think of
you
the
got to.
tips.
Yeah.
It's weird that
This-
you time it. It's like surely that's a you thing. Like the job takes as long as it takes to get done.
no, so when I got, because waxing is so niche and they started making like waxing only places in 2010, if I recall correctly, at least in the Toronto area. So they wanted to get the times as short as possible, but like, you know, an Asian person takes 5 minutes and then hairier people take longer. So yeah.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
For Xray. She said bucks.
Ducks.
Not ducks.
Used to wax 50 ducks at a time.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, it's getting to be about that time. So let's talk about what we have going on this week. What do you have going on, Xray?
Tomorrow, same thing as usual. So just follow all the streams tomorrow, but makeshift.com. I have plushies for one more week. We extended the period. So if you can, head over there. And also, Wiccan and I are doing a portion of my road trip.
You have a big
Where
road trip coming up, don't you? You're gonna be gone for like 2 months. Not 2
like
months, but
5 weeks. It's going to be huge, but
Wow.
we want to bring you content. We're going to bring content regardless, but there are some things that we can do additional to that. So if you go to Wicked's PayPal link and say road trip, it helps fund stuff like this, cosplays, dinners out where we'll live stream
Yeah.
it. So I'm
Yeah.
more excited about the cosplays, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And so we are like we're not gonna put everything that we're doing just like for safety reasons, but there is gonna be more stuff up there that we want to do, and we'll be going live from there and stuff, which is another reason why we don't want to put exact locations for certain stuff, you know. But
like
yeah.
you watch us eat buffalo wings, which I know
They don't have-
Disparu's like
yeah.
buffaloes don't have
That,
wings.
that
Buffaloes
should,
don't
that
have
should be the road
wings.
trip. Trying to discover the place where buffaloes have wings. Where is the source of the food?
Yeah, and
It's
it
like Top
sounds
Gear did the source of the Nile.
yeah. And I am joining Wicked for a short period in the southern region of the US. So
So we're gonna be
we'll-
doing some stuff that
in there. So we'll add to this list.
gonna
We
become
just
mules.
needed
that's what I mean. There's gonna be
confirmation.
more. Yeah.
we needed confirmation. No, there's gonna be more for sure. So cheers. Thank you guys for whoever donated so far and will be donating. Honestly, really appreciate it because
Yes.
that just means more things that we can
The
do.
last stretch goal is car insurance.
Shut up.
And Tunberry Mustard with a 50. Great show, guys. Thank you so much. Let's do a
Damn.
damn. Thank you so much. And what do you have? You have some videos coming out this week,
Yeah,
Disparu?
Doctor Who on the first 2 episodes. There's Velma to finish, possibly MILF Manor, and there's the that it all depends because the Acolyte is coming up soon as well. It's gonna probably take precedence over anything else. I'm not. I feel like I'm forgetting another series which is coming up soon, but who knows?
Velma?
No, I've
No,
said
that's
Velma.
already.
No,
yeah,
I
you
think
said
there's
Velma.
like could be it's either a new thing or there's also been hints that maybe Rings of Power at
Acolyte?
some point.
Are you
No,
gonna
it's
do
not the
that?
Acolyte. Yeah.
We don't
'Cause that's
listen. Like, I already said it.
June.
You guys aren't listening to me.
There's
Listening, I
been
promise.
some of the Rings of Power fan things like, this is the last time we're going to comment on scoops in preparation for the marketing ramp up of Rings of Power. So it's like, oh,
Yeah.
is that going to be soon?
Actually,
Been
I
told to
would
shut up
love
or something.
I would love for you to cover the boys and its downfall.
I did a video about the boys. I don't know whether it was
House of
last
Dragon?
season or the one before.
That's good
and
stuff.
The video then was in response to people going, like, they challenge both sides. I'm like, no, they don't. Nothing about the boys has ever taken both sides.
It's mostly one side.
It's very one-sided, but I think what people get out of it is it's a bit like Barbie. It was so honest, and their moral values are so opposite to yours that
It's biased.
two people are looking at the same events, and one thinks they're good and one thinks they're evil. And
Yeah.
so they want this guy to be evil, but because their moral values are exactly the opposite of yours, they are essentially evil themselves by your definition. What they think is evil, you think is good. And that was the same thing in Velma. So people were like, what? They were destroying the men. Like, yeah, we were destroying the men. It was great. It's like, yeah, but then the women were happy. And they were like, yeah, that was awful. But then you brainwashed them into being miserable. It's like, yeah, isn't that really good? And so it was just two people looking at the same scene, and one thought it was awful and one thought it was great. So we're in a very weird, interesting thing where people's moral structures are exactly opposite.
Yeah. I agree with that. So yeah, that's what Disparu has going on. We all have stuff going on. I'm actually back this week, so I'll be gaming tomorrow. I'll probably play some Stellar Blade tomorrow. I still have to finish my first playthrough. She just knocked over her drink. She got
She's
done
knocked over
playing.
everything.
Sorry, I got very excited as soon as you said Stellar Bleed.
I was expecting the stream to DC and all kinds of stuff.
Everything just
Like, not the PC
everything's
off
on
the
fire.
table.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
it's like very stuck in a very secure location, thank God.
So yep, all my streams will be back this week, and also History of Pirates, the Patches and Run podcast will be back at 7 p.m. on Monday. So yeah, you guys know where to find me. I'll be around. That's it.
Sweet.
Thank you guys so much. And again, like Xray said, thank you to people everyone that has already donated to our road trip fund. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and there will be more stuff added. Like I said, we're just trying to stay safe. You know what I mean? But we're gonna do a lot of live streams. I'm excited for that. We're gonna have so much fun. I can't wait. But you guys are awesome. Make sure you check out Xray and Disparu. I'm sure you're already following them, but if you're not, their links are in the description. So we'll give them some love, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
See ya. Don't believe the buffalo propaganda.